Konbanwa, and welcome to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Live Video Entertainment Network. My name's Ian Horn. I'm your host as always, and joining me this week is Alex. Yes.
Hi.
Hi. And today we're going. Okay, no audio. That would have been a great joke, though. Let's just keep talking as if nothing's happened and find out whether or not people are actually receiving our words, or if I'm just talking into the void, and I'm in fact not talking into the void. We are audiophiles in that we like audio, and we have audio, and you have audio. Audio is everywhere it needs to be. Hey, it's a Let's Try program, and today what we're going to do is we are going to attempt to try to build some Gunpla.
Okay, so what was this shit about painting it?
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
since when do you paint Gunpla?
Well, not... I mean, there are some very, very talented people out there with a lot of time on their hands.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's somebody who's like scratch built one of these.
Oh, yeah. No, this is the great thing about Gunpla, as you mentioned. You don't need to paint these things. They come pre-molded in the colors that are generally appropriate.
Yeah, and then there's little stickers for some of the highlights.
Yeah, yeah. But if you know what, if you want to get really, really wild, you can go ahead with fresh paint and water slides.
Do you think a gun? Okay, well, first let's back up a step. What the hell does Gunpla mean?
Aha, well.
I didn't know this until pretty recently.
Gunpla is a portmanteau of Gundam and plastic model. I have a Gundam. I have a plastic model.
Gunpla.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you just played with them.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that you can't do. Like they're highly posable and.
Do you think these would be a good introduction to modeling for somebody who had never built anything before in their life?
That's a good question, and I think I was initially going to say no, because I think
I think it might be okay.
I was well. I'll come around to why I was
Okay.
about to come around to your position, because I think modeling itself, or plastic modeling, generally means you need to do a little bit more work
Sure.
in terms of painting and sanding and putting. These can be done with a lot less effort.
But that's the point.
And exactly, that is the point. This has the room to grow, whereas other models don't have the room to step back and become easier.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, if you find yourself enjoying the act of assembling parts, and are like, you know what, this is cool, but I wish it was much more of a pain in the ass. I also wish it was more toxic.
And less weeby.
It's like, you know what, I want to make a teeny tiny Wehrmacht.
So that is one of the issues with the Gunpla, is that it is branded, it is themed to a specific television series. In this case, Mobile Suit Gundam. In this specific case, Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny, which is a series I have not seen.
Is that what the S stands for?
Yeah, it's actually an S. There is an E and a D there as well, but the E Gundam Seed is just written very tinily underneath there. You can barely see it, and then the S is there.
I have a Gundam.
Yeah, we've got similar Gundams. You've got the
Zgumpf.
Zden
Freedom Gundam.
and I have the
Zaft.
Zgumpf 20. Strike Freedom.
Ian,
Yes.
you've been around the block with Gundams a little bit before, right? What's maybe you can explain what the Hug is.
Oh, the hood.
Yeah, tell us about the Hug.
We got a few different, so on these models, you've got the HG, and that stands not for Hard Gay Razor Ramon, of the Japanese Talento fame, but in fact, high grade.
Not Home and Garden?
No, not Home and Garden either, though you could make this and put it in your garden if you like. I think it would actually look really cool, you know, kind of poking out from behind a tomato leaf. But there's multiple grades of Gundam models. High grade is, honestly, I guess what you could call the base level.
Yeah, this is like a thing that I was gonna say that Japan does, but like everybody does it. You know, it's just like select, premium, superior, and it's like none of these sound lesser than the other.
AA, AAA, AAA Prime. So yeah, you've got your high grade, you've got your master grade, which is a more complicated set, sometimes with more moving parts, definitely with more pieces. And you've got your perfect grades, which
There's
are
like lots and lots and lots of pieces.
and lots of money too.
Yeah, they're like a couple $100 each.
Yeah, and that's for the normal sized ones. If you want any of the large,
Yeah, they've got ones that are like the size of the table.
yeah, any of the large mobile armor systems. Oh yes, sorry, Zafty. Yes, then you have real grade, and that's where you spend the real money.
Do you get an actual mech?
And no, it's still tiny. You can't get in it. I mean, you could try to get in it, but you'd have.
Hop in.
You'd probably have to end up like unlocking the door on most of those.
We'll take the real grade goof. Hop in.
Of course. So I should definitely I should thank Jameson920 in the chat, who was kind enough to send us these and a stand, which is around here somewhere,
Ooh.
for us to build specifically on Tinker Tailor. So
What's the stand's name?
the stands,
If we're gonna get into it.
the stand's name
Just communication.
is just oh yes,
Yeah.
Tumix, yes.
Yeah, the stand is a pilot.
Yes, that's exactly how it works. Yeah.
Also, I'll notice that we're in stereo.
Yes, we are. We got to thank our good friend in Japan.
Yeah, Kanaoki sent both of these.
Yes, he did.
Hi, domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't usually make a big deal about tools.
I think you should definitely walk us through these.
So, what? Okay. When you make a plastic model, you would like to have a pair of side cutters to clip the parts off. And I built models for a long time, and I'd heard tell of the legendary God Hand cutters, which these are. And you're like, why are they like $100? They couldn't possibly be that good. And then you try them, and you're like, oh, they are that good. That's messed up.
Corvus has a
Yeah, Corvus has a graphic comparing how they perform,
but I did a
which
little
is
bit
to
of
say
reading
kind of
into it.
ridiculous.
And if we can get maybe a shot onto there, the packaging shows you what makes the God Hand special over various other types of cutters, and it's that it uses a single flat or a single blade with a flat receiver. So instead of having two blades coming in and pushing the sprue, in essence, off, pushing the piece off the sprue, you just have a single blade coming through and whacking.
Yeah, I think the sound you're looking for is gacha
It's basically die cutting it,
or
right?
chonk.
Yes, but we will still be keeping some of the other tools at hand. I'm going to put a fresh
Because
knife.
the other thing about this is like this, hypothetically, is the last tool you'll ever need for this kind of model kit.
That's the idea, isn't it?
I mean, you probably want a little bit more, but you could actually build an entire kit with just this.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if I've still got my files around, and I don't know that I do. So we'll have to... Oh, there it is. Yes, there's one of them. Just in case we want to do any sanding of the edges.
Yeah, all right. Why not?
All right. So, let's get our boxes open.
I feel like Alex is a bit ahead of you in that endeavor.
It's just because I'm impatient.
Oh.
And impulsive.
I sliced the obi.
It's not the obi.
All right.
So there's little markings on some of these sprues that I've always been curious about. Like this little teeny dial.
Oh, yes.
What is that?
So my, I was curious about that a while back too. You know, I'm just going to put this here for now. What that is it's a production marking.
I figured it was something like that.
So anytime that you go through and they do a mold, the automatic wheels just click themselves into position, and that way you can tell which production that is. So that if there is an error in production, they can go back in quality control and say, okay, we got to pull all the parts from this run. Interesting stuff.
Wild.
Oh, so many colors.
Is that gold?
That is, in fact, a gold plastic. Huh. I have no idea what this is for.
That's got a QR code.
It does.
Do it.
I'm betting there's some sort of point associated with this.
Is it like register your Gundam online and
Play it in a game.
yeah?
They sure are advertising a lot of mobile games here.
There's Jeej.
Aha!
He's the kind of like king gunpla builder around these parts.
In the community, yeah, you certainly set the bar for what a gun.
What bar?
Oh wow! Gundam game 30th anniversary. That is some. Since you built that big ass one, the Sinaju, that's it. Gundam Breaker 3. That's a game I didn't play, but Corey did. How was it? Cool.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh! I didn't know that Gundam Card Builder is still running in Japan.
What?
Now they're running it in the in UC mode, or Unicorn.
What?
I'm very excited.
I like that there's a separate sprue just for the like horns.
Well, yeah, shouldn't there be?
Well, it's just, I mean, it's the only part that's yellow.
It's a special piece. Oh, weirdly, mine got introduced into one of the multi-injection point sprues,
What?
which is an amazing new
Oh,
technology.
is that what that thing is?
Oh no, it's what it is that
What?
Yeah.
Oh, this
you'll
thing.
notice there are multiple colors
Whoa.
on the same sprue, which is a relatively new technology that Bandai put together specifically for the modeling of parts.
That's messed up.
Yeah, they're messed up.
That just seems efficient.
Yeah.
Okay, looking for my manual, and it's still in the box. Of course it is. Hobby Japan. Gatsu. Oh wow, this is I guess for the. So this is just an example of extra parts you can buy or might be included with this issue of Hobby Japan magazine. I don't know, but wow,
D7 PC2.
so many models. So let's open this up here. ZGMF X20A Strike Freedom Gundam Zaft Mobile Suit Model Number ZGMF X20A Total Height 18.88 meters. Weight 80.09 tons. Generator output unknown. Thruster total propulsion unknown. Armaments, well, we certainly know those.
I have a theory why it's unknown.
They didn't bother coming up with them.
Because they made it up.
It's all these young mechanical designers today, not thinking through their the horsepower output of their generators.
It's just like on a panel, it's like some guy comes up asking questions. I mean, that was one of my favorite parts in Galaxy Quest, where they're doing the Q&A, and the guy's asking technical questions about the specs of the ship, and it's like, it's made up.
Like anything in society, it's made up.
So we had a question, clarification from Nigoki about the multicolor injection.
Nigoki.
That they've been doing same sprue since the mid-'80s and experimenting with multicolor since the 90s, but it didn't work well until they abandoned it until more recently for figurized busts and labo. So interesting.
Labo.
information
Labo.
there.
Labo.
What else here? Yes, Nathan JGA, do you still need to wash the plastics to remove mold releasing agents, or is it unnecessary with models that don't need paint? I don't think you need to do washing with,
I ain't washing
with
this.
Gunpla.
Resin, though.
These, oh yeah.
Definitely
I mean,
wash your resin.
Resin, anything garage kits, anything old, definitely.
I mean, you should wash old people.
Oh, I mean, you should wash yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's have a look here at what we need to do. We need B1, I think is.
Sheet. Yeah, how do you kill a vampire any way you want? Yep. I mean, if you've seen the movie, Blade kills vampires by punching them. Is that an air bubble?
Could be.
I think it is.
Oh, wow.
It's not in the part, but it's darn close to it, which is worrying. Yeah, by the end of the movie, he's just socking them with his fists, and they just explode.
Well, he's got the garlic hand.
No, he doesn't.
But he believes he has the garlic hand.
Yeah.
Well, here's my explanation. Blade is not, in fact, a human being.
Okay.
He is an ent.
What, like a garlic ant? Like
No, wooden stake. Like, I mean, a fist could in fact be mistaken as a wooden.
He's supposed to be half vampire.
I know.
And for some reason, I keep conflating Wesley Snipes with, like, Blade. And it's just like, yeah, you know, the Blade franchise really went downhill when he went to jail for tax evasion.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes, the human being, with Blade, the fictional vampire hunter.
I'm not a smart man.
I remember
I would
reading.
disagree with that.
Aw, you're too kind.
I remember reading somewhere that the original purpose of a stake, when applied to a vampire, is to affix them to the ground because you can't stop them otherwise.
That makes sense.
Like, it doesn't kill them, it just keeps them in
Inconveniences
place.
them.
What is? This is actually the second time within the last 2 days I've heard people talking. Well, no, today. Earlier today, I was listening to one of my podcasts, and they were talking about how they used to, while they were kids, try to find out if they'd be able to escape from a Dracula at any one time.
Just a Dracula.
Yeah.
Well, see, now you've set me up for one of my favorite childhood stories, which is that when I was a kid, and I'm not exaggerating this at all, when I heard that the way you killed a vampire was with a stake, I thought you meant the cut of beef. So I have little drawings in one of my sketchbooks somewhere of, like, a vampire killing kit that's a hammer and a barbecue fork with a porterhouse on
Wow.
it. You know, it's just like,
For beef.
I didn't know any better. I was like, that seems like a weird way to kill a vampire, but okay.
Just so people can see what we're building. I de-sprued a piece without even knowing I was pushing through it.
Oops.
That's the quality of God hand.
These god hands are magic. That Pat Labor
Ooh.
build looks real good.
Oh.
If there's one thing that Pat Labor was good for, and there are a lot of things that Pat Labor was good for, it's interesting mechanical design.
Yep. I mean, I'm such a sucker for the idea of police mecha that not only wear clothing and body armor, but have a revolver,
Yep.
which is just about the stupidest idea for, like, armament that I could think of, but
Well,
it's cool. I
They
don't
also
care.
have license plates.
I forgot that. That actually just sounds smart.
And the fun part about it
Yeah.
is, of course, because it's Japan, the license plates were they were the white with green. Because the engines are larger than a K car.
I love details like that so much. This is the reason why Neil Blomkamp stuff I love so much, is because he pays attention to those kind of details.
I was just reading the oral history of Halo
Yeah.
on that Vox, or not Vox, Vice did a while back, and they were talking about Neil was heavily involved in the pre-production for the Halo movie
Was he?
that was supposed to happen, and a lot of the props that were made for Halo ended up getting used in District 9.
Oh, that, yeah, all right.
So yeah, you're basically looking at literal actual Halo guns that have been repainted.
Yeah, like Elysium was an okay movie. It had some problems,
Elysium occurred.
God, the design is so good in that. Like when Matt Damon's character gets the AK 74, maybe it's a 47, that has like this weird, very old looking device covered in like faded Cyrillic that is a zap strap to the front of the gun. I'm just like, yes!
Yep.
It's so cool!
Here are all the things that work in the world because people
Old
have
and
had to deal
shitty.
with them.
Give me poo tech.
Oh, cool! Thank you, Nigoki. There's apparently an article from Dengeki Hobby about the multi-layer injection and its history. I think that would be a fantastic article to read. All right, I have successfully released one piece from its
My name's
prison.
Kruger.
piece
You what?
two.
I'm from South Africa.
Big South Africa.
South Africa. I can't do a South African accent. It's very very weird.
I only attempt to do that one line, and that's because I heard an interview with a person, a accent coach from Hollywood.
About Leonardo DiCaprio for Blood Diamond.
Yep, and that was his key phrase for a South African accent.
Yeah.
Was saying the phrase "Big to South Africa."
Big to South Africa. It always takes me off guard when you get the like 1% of Ashton's speech pattern coming through.
Oh, yes.
I'm just like, right, that's where he's from.
South Africa.
South Africa. Is that supposed to be happening?
The honking outside?
No, that.
Oh, the vibrating. No, probably not. We neglected to spring for the vibrational isolation for the office.
Okay.
Never cheap out on vibrational isolation. D1 and D1. D1. Ah. D1,
These nuts.
3, and 4.
Got him!
3 and 4. This God Hand is going to make these some very pretty models.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we miss out on some of the click of a. Oh,
I don't. What?
the multi.
Whoa, okay, that's not. That's
multi-injection.
messed up. I don't like that. That scares me.
That's amazing.
What is it?
It's a face.
It's a face.
A human face.
Well, anime girls aren't human. Sorry, somebody had to say it.
Wow.
They're more like flan.
Go on.
In that I pour.
No, okay,
Caramel
no,
on
they're
top?
soft and jiggly and
Oh, okay. And sweet.
full of sugar and sweet.
Yeah,
Yes,
there we go.
and bad for your waistline.
Ooh.
That's so weird.
Oh, yes, it does look much better with skin on. Thank
good.
you.
Oh, thank goodness.
Most things look much better with skin on. Except for Terminators.
Yep.
Oh, that's dark art is what that is. Changing the shape of the red layer specifically to have natural blush.
What?
That's what's going on in that picture.
Oh, that is demon magic. That is dark-sided.
They're playing with physical opacity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we started.
Yep.
It's always funny when you go back to discover like an existing technology and just use it in a different way, and they're like, "Oh my god, magic!"
Wait, we can do this now?
Yeah.
We don't have to cheap out?
It was like when I told people that I'd like had gone to Makerspace and made a chisel, and they're like, "What? You can just make tools?"
Like-
It's like,
know-
yes.
Yeah. Did you know what? Physics just lets you do things.
Or not, depending on what you're trying to do.
Good point. Yes. Please do not try to do the physics.
like-
the things that physics won't let you do.
Or the law.
I mean, either or.
Making your own tools is very satisfying, even if they don't turn out quite as pretty as maybe something you bought off a shelf. Sometimes they turn out better.
It certainly means you can actually learn how to repair them.
It's very cool. Well, I mean, planned obsolescence is a thing, and boy do I hate it, and boy do I have opinions about it. Also, bearing in mind the irony of me saying this, fuck plastic as a building material.
No, I'm down with you there.
I hate it. It's cheap and crappy, and it doesn't lead apart from a few specific applications where it's useful, it is a very bad like tool and appliance making material.
Definitely. One of the things it's very good at doing is making things cheaply.
Yeah. Very cheaply. Like break cheaply. I saw this thing. Okay, this makes me so mad.
Oh boy, here we go.
It was a garage door opener, and the video, the guy opens it up, and inside is a plastic gear that's cracked in half. And I was just like, I hate plastic gears. I really hate them. So he takes a casting, does a positive in wax, then does a negative and casts it in aluminum.
Nice.
With expanded teeth, and then he like mills it to spec, and it's just like, hey, it's actually gonna work and last and be built to the fucking specifications it should have been in the first place. Things that are built to break that aren't, what's the name of those bolts that shear off when you crash into them? Those are okay.
Self-stealing stem bolts? No, I'm not.
No, like, this is like light fixtures in the street.
Yeah.
They use these bolts that are fixtured in such a way that if you crash into it with a car, it'll go snap.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but safety bolts, says Gordon?
Maybe.
Maybe.
A2D5. How do you explain Tim Allen?
7 seasons of home improvement, really.
It is interesting working out where the sort of break point is between tool complexity and practicality and fabricating it. Because there's some stuff that is like super easy, like chisels, knives, hammers are real easy to make by yourself, and you can probably make them better than stuff you buy for the most part. I mean, if you know what you're doing. I just don't know how you mess up a hammer. You could do it.
Yeah, I mean, and bear in
Well,
mind
what
also-
kind of hammer?
Yeah, that's the other thing. There are multiple hammers for multiple.
There are
different,
so many different hammers, and they're all great. They all do different stuff.
I love every hammer.
Yeah, well, every hammer. In my research, I come across all sorts of cool stuff. There's a mold for casting lead hammers.
Ooh.
Where you take a handle, you put it in, and you pour molten lead into it, and then you get a hammer that's made out of lead, which is really heavy and won't mar the surface that you
Right.
hit it with.
Like
I think it's kind of like a brass hammer, only like even softer. So it's like maybe if you have something that is also brass, and you're like, I wish this would move. Bump.
It's really not hard to make a hammer. It is a bit more difficult to make a hammer with any sort of durability.
I was gonna say the key, the secret. It's not actually a secret. It's like thousands of years of metallurgy. Is in using proper steel and actually hardening it.
Mhm. Well, being able to make and then and know what good steel is probably the hardest thing.
Did you know there's many flavors of steel?
Yes.
Some of them have carbon. Some of them don't have so much carbon. Some have chromium.
And the amounts, and the very specific amounts, matter greatly.
They really do. Because when you get it really hot and then make it not hot, it gets hard. But it's too hard and it will break. So you have to heat it up again and make it a little bit soft but also hard. And then it'll last.
It's like how diamonds are actually incredibly brittle. Like, if you get something too hard, it'll just kind of
Yeah.
Well, that's
snap.
that's the magic of crystalline structures.
I mean, that's the weird thing about, like, if you've ever snapped a steel tool and it looks like sand on the inside, you're just like, what is that? It's like, it's the crystal structure.
Why did it come apart like that?
Well, because it wasn't fabricated very well. It's made out of pure discountium.
What was the last thing that I needed to repair? I'm still thinking, I'm always thinking back to the time my dishwasher broke down in Edmonton.
Oh, yeah?
And I was able to,
Okay, so, sorry. The visual I had was that you were driving this dishwasher to Edmonton, and you, like, had a flat, and you're just like, no, come on, turn over, turn over. And you're sitting there, like, turning it, and it's like,
just vomits up a couple plates.
sorry, your dishwasher broke.
But it was a small plastic part again.
Oh, I have a story after this.
And so I ended up being able to fix it for a good 6 months by fashionating
Fascinating. No, fascinating.
fashionating a fix out of JB Weld.
So, I've never really worked with JB Weld. I've gotten the impression that it's kind of a meme. in the like handyman world.
It
They're just like, oh yeah, I just fixed it with JB Weld. You know, I went ahead and got the JB Weld in there, and like any person with like the slightest bit of mechanical and engineering is just like,
it has a purpose.
oh yeah.
I have a question.
Answer.
What is JB Weld?
JB Weld is a
Epoxy.
yeah. It's
Is it metal based?
I think there is some metal in there, but I don't know if it's metal based.
Well,
but
because
it
like
is-
its benefit is like it's an epoxy putty.
yeah, it's a hand moldable epoxy putty.
Yeah, so you can stick stuff together. It's also you can drill and sand it, and maybe tap it.
I
I wouldn't either.
No, it's not. Yeah,
Like it's sketchy enough tapping aluminum.
Zim knives. It's made specifically for bonding metals, so I guess that it does have the ability to grip metals better. But that's one of the times in the past when I really would have liked to have had a 3D printer,
Yeah.
because that is a piece that would have been very easy to just download and
What I really want to do is get something 3D printed and then do a lost wax casting of it. Because we don't have, they haven't quite figured out sintering yet. Well, they have in like sort of limited applications. But whoa, I have to apply some stickers here.
Yeah, the big problem for me is that 3D printing just isn't. The resolution isn't fine enough yet.
Yeah, there's some stuff that you can do with it, like if you had to fabricate like a chonk-ish part, or just get the basic form to finish off on a mill or a lathe or something. It's probably pretty good.
And don't get me wrong, when you get up into the actual industrial level 3D printers, then you start getting some very good resolution and reliability. Consumer stuff, we're not quite to the mid 90s level of inkjet printers in terms of quality. We're still in the dot matrix days. Yeah, no, I am aware of the UV printers that exist, but they're for under $1,000. But the area is not.
How much?
$400 is what Nigoki's.
Oh, gosh, I thought you said 400,000.
Oh,
Same. Sounds like you said a bit more
sorry,
than 400.
400, comma under 1,000.
There we
Okay.
are.
Have I seen the mass welding-based industrial metal 3D printer? I have not. The most interesting 3D print I've seen, or 3D printer I've seen, has been the building 3D printer.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, which uses the same sort of technology they use for the cable cameras in football stadiums. That just holds essentially a nozzle attached to a concrete tube.
Yeah, it's a 3D printer only with like concrete paste.
Yeah. So lay down some concrete,
Just makes a building.
lay down another layer, and it looks ugly. But then again, like most other buildings, you'll throw up drywall on these walls, and it'll look exactly like
The
they are.
return of brutalism, the thing that everybody is waiting for.
Oh yes, please.
Are we in the minority, like, that we actually like brutalism?
I don't think we are. I think people don't like the word brutalism.
Maybe. I can't even find issue with the criticisms of brutalism, because it is, like, kind of dirty and aggressive and soulless looking.
Yes.
That's why I like it.
I think what we like about brutalism is the way that it's aging. It ages in a very
Post-apocalyptic.
in a very postmodern way. Whenever you see aged brutalist structures, they're always you can see the way that they're being,
Oh, look at that. Look at that one.
but they all look like they're being reclaimed by nature.
Love it.
Well, and this is a big misconception a lot of people have, is what is a brutalist piece of architecture? Because there's a lot of other things that are very adjacent to it, but aren't it. Because architects like having just dramatic family trees of classifications of, oh, this is like prairie, this is like Georgian, all
Baroque.
that, Baroque. Like they go deep.
They go hard.
No, it's artistic
Wait a
classification.
minute, 12. Oh, whoops.
If there's one thing I learned from the one art history class I take, is that artists love classification.
No, we don't. Yes, we do.
Sorry, art historians.
Oh. Screw those
Yeah,
guys.
the people who are making the art, I don't really... Alex, when you sit down to make some art, how
Yeah.
much time do you think it takes you to decide what sort of style you're going to use before you start drawing?
I'm still waiting for when I get to earn my style. Oh, that makes me so sad to see young artists being like, when do I get my style? It's like, oh, God.
Well,
You poor bastard. You've been lied to. By your peers, by your educators, by culture. They have filled your head with falsehoods.
I don't even think it's that. It's just a misconception of falling into a style that is very much concrete instead of plastic. Like, it's supposed to be malleable.
Yeah, people... I think people fuss a lot over stuff that doesn't matter. I said, sweat beating up on my brow.
As
Thinking
you're
of,
working on a toy.
no, that's not... yes, I was talking about the Gundam.
I would also like to point out that personally, having if you're working as a commercial artist, not having a style is a much better thing to have.
It actually is.
Well, you can have a style, and it's good if it's relatable. If it's not relatable, then it is a hindrance. Because that's what people want, is to be able to relate to something. And that's why, like, a lot of classic art really is classified as classic, is because it was relatable. Or notable, at least.
Well, survivable.
Survivable.
No, wait, B1 and C4. Where's my C4? Alex, I need more C4.
No.
What's a C4?
I mean, ultimately, what you get out of your art depends on what you're trying to do with it. Because, like, the way, if you want to market yourself to other people, you're going to have to, by necessity, craft it in a certain way. If you're doing it to suit yourself and your own needs, then that's a different thing entirely.
Yup.
And you will encounter, each will have its own issues. So it's like, I draw to suit myself, and I think as a result it's difficult to promote because I'm not taking two popular things and like smushing them together and being like, I made these Disney princesses as carbon chains.
Well, it's
Or some horse shit.
It's your market too.
Yeah.
Like, first off, do you want to have a market? Are you working for a market, or are you working for yourself?
I want to tell an interesting story that I think is worth telling, and then I'll figure out who the hell wants to read that crap later. Please read my comic. But yeah, like, my model is not especially sustainable or like,
No, it's
but it's what I am into. Where the frick is B38?
I mean, a lot of people say that money is anathema to art.
disagree.
That's really complicated because sometimes the answer to that is yes, and other times it's like, you're a bastard trying to exploit me by leveraging my love for my craft to make me work for exposure. You prick.
Well, no, what I mean by that is that the necessity of having money or earning money to live gets in the way of artistic.
Well, that assumes that that art needs to be done as a profession,
Yeah.
which I would highly disagree with.
No, it doesn't. You can do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it entirely for your own enjoyment. I didn't realize, I don't know why this took me so long. Some people just enjoy making OCs. Like, that's the end result.
Really?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's just like, hey, I made this character, and it's
Like-
like a delightful, like, amusing, like, entertaining,
Oh, okay.
fulfilling just to me.
So not even like
not
in
for,
other people's
not
work.
for a
just-
story, not to be woven into anything. It's just like, this is my character. They're interesting. I love them. It's great. That's the end result.
I mean,
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, that's an interesting form of world building from a different direction.
because like anytime I invent a character, I'm like, how am I going to put this person into a story? Like, what am I going to build around them, or vice versa? I just never thought of like making a fully formed
Well, remember,
character as the entirety of the exercise.
actually thinking about it this way, I would think that actually makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, characters don't exist fully formed.
Mm-hmm.
They are products of their environment.
Yeah. And their author.
Yeah. So, but that's saying like trying to find a character and like figuring out how do I shoehorn this into a story.
Well, you can sort of do it backwards, but it's just like if you don't even care about making a story or finishing it, it's just like kind of its own exercise. Where the fuck does this go? What?
In order to make the clear parts more effective, select 3.
Yeah, that's perfectly clear there.
I will select 3.
Oh no, I've been rumbled.
All right.
Does this go in here?
Oh, this is the eyeballs. C25.
Does this go in here?
C6.
Okay, that looks like it goes in there.
Hopefully it goes in there.
Oh, okay. C6 goes here.
Yeah, making a character and putting them up a tree and then throwing rocks at them and then bringing them down. It's pretty sound advice for making an interesting situation for them.
Yeah. How accurate would you say it is that every character that someone creates has a part of them in it?
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary.
I mean, okay, it's like depends on how extrapolated you mean having a part of them. It's like some of them are a little on the nose where it's just like, this character is literally me. This is a representation. It's me, but I have cat ears. Other ones are like, I as an individual like this work, and in that work there's this thing that I particularly found a type of resonance, and that sort of inspired elements of this character. So it's like, how many steps removed is it? It's before it stops counting as being part of you. I don't know, if you made it, you probably have a piece of yourself in it.
I need to get some tweezers.
B135.
The face.
I've been okay, what a great segue. I've been rewatching Monty Python on Netflix. And many of their jokes have not aged very well.
I bet.
However, I would say the majority of them have. Because what maybe people don't quite remember is how much they leaned on pure absurdism. Which is, I think, a really great argument against this idea that, like, in order to be funny, you have to be shitty to people. It's like, no. It's like they did so many bits. Like, I'm trying to remember them off the top of my head. Like, they did a bit where everybody's just, like, really fixated on train stuff. Like, they're all anoraks. It's just like, what is this? Even the spam bit. At the beginning of the sketch, the couple just descends from the sky, and there's Vikings in the restaurant. And what do they serve at the restaurant? Oh, various combinations of spam and other spam and stuff. And then it turns into a song.
Like, it wasn't even spam. Wasn't a thing.
It's fucking funny because it doesn't make any sense. It's very... I mean, we're almost sort of returning to that in 2019.
Almost.
Absurdism is always funny.
I think memes have been absurdist for a while.
They're pretty weird.
Yeah. Well, absurdism is relatable and timeless.
Yeah?
It's why people like like animal videos, because in many of them there is no logic to them. What the animals are doing, at least to us, appears to be absurd.
Yeah. It's just a cat sitting there,
When in
but
fact, they just want food.
yeah.
Relatable. That's why people like those videos so much.
Fucking feed me.
You bastard.
Give me cuddle.
I've got a Nip Jones. Spam, spam, sausage, eggs,
Okay.
and spam.
So that's one tiny sticker applied.
Now only 10 more.
Well, now I gotta put these eyeballs on top of this shiny reflection. And then add a second sticker on top of that.
Is it the shiny reflection in the eye?
No! It's the eyeballs! Ah.
There was a sketch where this woman is waiting to have a gas cooker, which is British for a stove, delivered, and the people show up, and there's a typo on the invoice, and they're just like, oh no, we can't deliver this to you because it's like written to the wrong person. We'll have to come back in like 8 weeks. And the sketch like basically just goes through ever escalating degrees of bureaucracy because she like signs it as her own name, and when they bring it in, they're like, oh, you know, you wanted it installed? Well, the installation is under a different name, which you didn't sign under. And more dudes keep showing up to like further complexify it. And finally, what they work out is that they can dispatch an emergency installation if there's a public health risk. So they're like, yeah, sure. And they take a gas line. They're like, here, lie down, you know, inhale this, and we'll like get them over here right away to install this gas cooker for you. It's so funny.
Things that just wouldn't fly.
Yeah.
And not because they're bad, just because we're so bad at taking risks.
I'd rather not take risks with natural gas myself.
Come on, live a little.
And then die a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, that's exactly it. Live a little and then perish.
Perish horribly.
Thus is the nature of mortality.
How does this even work?
Well, put your right hand in into your right hand. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, right?
Just remember you did this
Morty.
To
by your own
myself.
choice.
No, it's fine. Ah, that's a gun head. Gundam head.
Gunhead, different series.
Is it gunhead with an A or no A?
No A.
No A.
Oh.
There is no A. In
I showed it
Gunhead.
last, not last time, but a while ago.
Right,
Oh,
you brought a gunhead.
yeah, I did.
Fucking A.
Right. One of my favorite movies.
Oh, that goes down there.
Gunhead.
Gunhead.
Gun.
There we go. Now we've got his jowls in there.
Yowls. I need a stick. Get in there.
A132 is my next piece. This over here.
Get in there.
Just don't mix up the spurs.
God. Head.
No, God, hand.
God. Oh, God, he's dead. Oh, God, I love Nichijou. Sorry.
That's one of yours.
It was a gift.
Just had to make sure, because I'm working with a piece that's about the size of that.
Heard that.
Gotta shave some bits off, though. There we go. And another one. There we go. That's...
Yeah, the V-fin being a defining characteristic of Gunhead, except for the Sid Mead one, which was very peculiar. How does this go
I
in?
mean, as a fan of Turn A Gundam, I am very familiar with weird-ass Sid Mead designs in anime.
Do you look on them fondly or with disdain?
I'm gonna say, Turn A Gundam's a great series, and it's got some great mechanical design. Do they fit very well with the Gundam aesthetic? I mean, yes, but Turn A Gundam's great.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I don't especially like the mustache Gundam.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a controversial opinion.
I mean, it was at the time. It looks odd, but I think that has a lot to do with it being Sid Mead's design.
Mamma mia.
Now, it's not nearly as weird as the shit he came up with for the Hollywood Gundam movie that was in pre-production.
Oh God. What?
Yeah, that stuff looks
Whatever
terrible.
happened to the Hollywood Evangelion movie?
Oh, wasn't that also with Weta?
Hopefully the bottom of a lock,
I'd hope so.
because it's just like, don't.
Doesn't need to
Just, you don't need to. No, you don't have to.
Yep,
It's not necessary.
But they want to.
they shouldn't. I'm an adult, so I need to justify the things I like being real.
No, Ian, it's much more cynical than that. I was talking about this on my bonus stream, I think. I don't know if it was today or the other day. I was just like, well, you see, I wanted to get a return on investment, and this intellectual property is, it shows a lot of interest, and so we figured that we could leverage that into some sort of media property and then promote it accordingly. We could see like a really good return on investment. I don't know what the fuck it's about, and I don't give a shit.
So that is the whole. That is one of the memes that's currently going around my Twitter feed at the moment. Is film buffs saying that anything made before 1990 that wasn't the basis for a major franchise is a boring movie. Yeah.
Say that again.
Any film that was made before the 80s that isn't the basis for a major franchise is a boring film.
Before the 80s.
Yeah, so old movies that aren't the basis for franchises are boring and you shouldn't watch them.
Okay, this is the people that have that opinion. You're stupid. Fuck off.
Well, that was rude.
I have to drink
In
one
the
of it.
sea. I hope you got some of their tears in there.
Nah, they don't have tears.
That's right, that would require emotions.
Me
Which they
too.
clearly can't feel because they can't watch old films.
Like, Chad is bringing up Metropolis, and I'm like, yeah, the pacing of Metropolis was actually rather suspect, but they were learning.
Did you know Alien is a 70s movie?
Yep. Oh yeah, that was on the list of films that that they can see. You know, I can see where people were going with this and how it really fits into the franchise. But the film's really actually boring.
Who are these losers?
Well, they're Twitter users.
Wait, no, I'm getting mad at Twitter.
Yeah, don't do
Twitter's dumb and fake, and it doesn't matter.
6 is the. Where'd my pinchy boys go?
Your lobster? Eee.
My artificial. Yes, where's my artificial lobster hand?
You know, for those times you need like extra pinching action.
Well, it's a good thing I have an extra pinchy, but this one doesn't have a sideways on it.
So a crab.
Yes, a crab is just a sideways lobster.
Sideways lobster. I love it.
Now I just want crab.
Oh, we're gonna go down to Jack Scallywags for some sideways
Oh
lobster.
yeah, it's all you can eat sideways lobster days.
We can catch it.
It's kind of hard because they got all those legs.
Did you know that there is, I believe, one species of crab that can walk forward?
Is there?
Yeah. I consider that fact to be menacing.
Yeah, that walking forward is a threat.
Yeah.
You ever see that gif of the crab that just rips its own arm off
Yes.
for evidently no reason? It's like, Like I give a fuck.
My favorite will still always be the crab that just disappears into the
Oh
underwater
no,
pipe.
that's so sad. I know it's just a crab, but oh, it's awful.
This is why you be careful around pressure differentials.
It's like that scene in Alien.
That one scene.
Thank you, Corey, for bringing us around.
You know, with the human alien.
Oh yeah. God. He believed so much.
What?
What was okay? There's
Huh?
so someone did a bootleg package of the alien from the xenomorph from Alien,
Okay.
but they did it with the transparent with the man inside it. I think it's called Alien Man. And there's a wonderful little poem on it. I want to look.
There's
it
a
up.
new documentary about Alien coming out.
Is there?
Yeah. I saw it because I watched a trailer compilation and people were really mad that it wasn't a new Alien movie. I was like, that's good. Stop making Alien movies.
We don't need.
Stop making sequels.
The last ones haven't done so well. And
Because they're very, very bad.
yeah, you can try again later. I have no problem with people making.
Yeah, okay, because every once in a while, you get Fury Road.
Yep.
And then you're like,
Or Aliens.
yeah, I feel like you get like, I had this theory that you get one, maybe two sequels.
Mm-hmm.
So like, Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I should be careful saying that. What else?
And it's not always like you have good sequels right off the bat.
Yeah.
Macross 2 is a prime example.
Yeah, sometimes they're rubbish, and then sometimes it's like the first one's good, the second one's terrible, the third one's good. It's not like there's an actual rule.
No, there is no rule. It's that every story is different. Every production has its own foibles.
Fobblies. Flea boys.
I mean, like, people don't remember the bad movies of, let's say, 5 decades ago. They only remember the good ones, because all the bad ones are just lost to time, because no one wanted to preserve them in the cultural memory.
Now, they're on Disney Plus.
Okay, so Disney Plus is like a streaming service where they open the vault,
Yeah,
and it was full of poo.
yeah. But it was full of poo in Avengers movies.
Well, but
I was gonna be cheeky, but like I actually don't have a problem with the Avengers movies. I think they're charming.
They're certainly fascinating.
Did they beat Thanos?
That might be a spoiler for certain people. Let's just say this time. Hey, I got a head on my Gundam.
Nice.
Wait, I gotta put the first of 2 sets of antenna.
Hai. Yoku dekimashita.
I have to be careful not to cut a certain part of it. A1. 29. A1 29.
Well, Zanzibar makes a good point. It's like some studios have to legally make more money movies with their IP so they don't lose them, and it ends up with bad movies. It's
Maybe
like, well,
they should.
yeah,
I mean-
maybe they should. I mean, they won't because
they want to keep making money.
but, well, I think we can probably place the blame for this squarely on Mickey Mouse's shoulders.
Yeah. Primarily.
Well, one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm slightly exaggerating.
There's a lot of people at fault here.
You can't kill me, ha-ha! Better move the goalposts, ha-ha!
Like, I mean, it's one thing for Disney to say, yes, we'd like you to extend copyright forever for us. And it's another for people to say, yes, we will definitely do that for you.
I have brand recognition, ha-ha!
Gosh.
Okay.
Well, it's a nice GDP there. Sure would be a shame if something happened to it.
Yuck.
Well, isn't that why they're making all the live-action Disney movies now is to extend the IP life.
Probably. Oh yeah. Oh, you put that back in my brain. Oh man. Oh, yikes.
Just yikes.
Just yikes.
But on the other hand, people are still making new things.
Thank goodness for that.
So I was going to say, Margaret Atwood just put out a new book, but it is also a sequel.
You screwed up. I got to see her.
How is she?
Exists.
Okay.
It was very brief, and I didn't get to talk to her. It was at the Winchester Gallery,
Ooh,
where Renee Knoll, gentleman whose name escapes me at the moment, I'm really sorry, and my dad had their works that were all derived from Margaret Atwood's work. So it was Angel, Catbird, Handmaid's Tale, and War Bears. And she showed up and was just like, "Hello, I'm a teeny lady."
I've seen her before too.
Yeah.
I was tempted to go in and actually. I was considering purchasing some of the art there. I do like some of the-
Renee's stuff was a steal. I was like,
What stuff did she do?
I'm getting itchy fingers. Renee Knoll is kind of a big deal. She is a local artist who's very good with watercolors. And she was tapped to do Handmaid's Tale,
Yep, those were
the graphic novel.
Those were the ones I was looking at.
Yeah,
thinking,
they were. I think she really underpriced them.
How? Do you mind if I ask how much?
Like a couple $100 a piece.
Holy,
Full color watercolors, like 12 by 18s.
those would be a good investment.
Yeah. She's, like many artists, very modest, I think.
I need to find out if she still has any for sale then, because those are some lovely pieces.
Yep.
I remember reading, I believe, The Handmaid's Tale in high school.
As
It
many-
felt weird to read. As a pre-political person.
Well, I can't wait for the next generation of kids who are first to read The Handmaid's Tale and think they can get away with just watching the TV series.
We only had to read Hairball.
What the heck is Hairball?
It's a short story.
Oh, okay. Did you read the lottery?
No, also no.
Really?
No, but I got Animal Farm twice.
I don't know. I don't remember. We read the Chrysalids.
I missed the Chrysalids. Like, why did they give me Animal Farm twice if I missed the
I
Chrysalids?
don't know.
I did not read very much, and I went to every single year's English class going through school. Like, I didn't even cover as many Shakespeare things as most people cover. What was my school doing?
Screwing up, I guess.
Like, I didn't read King Lear or
Oh,
The
you
Tempest.
poor bastard. King Lear is, because of the Jackson Pollock comic adaptation of it, that came with a audio cassette with, God, Obi-Wan Kenobi. What's the actor's name?
No.
Ewan McGregor.
Alec Guinness. Sir Alec Guinness for Diet Coke.
I believe it was Alec Guinness in the role of Lear in the audio book.
Ooh.
It's really cool. Very good.
Alec Guinness. Hello. I'm Sir Laurence Olivier, and I've been dead for over 2 years
Lear,
now.
it's like, I'm old. Tell me how rad I am. Please blow smoke up my ass.
3.6. Not great, not terrible.
Wait, why are you being crappy to me?
I'm sorry. What sprue do you want?
Well, screwed.
I legitimately think that it would be a far more effective teaching style for pretty much any sort of stage play, but specifically Shakespeare,
Yeah?
to like watch a recording of it being performed rather than read it. And then like do scene by scene that way,
That's-
and, talk.
That's
about it.
tough though, because like, what if it's a bad rendition?
That's fair. I saw a off-the-cuff kind of rendition of Romeo and Juliet on a Twitch stream. And it was like, wow, this slaps actually.
Like my understanding is that all Shakespeare specifically, and a lot of plays in general are meant to be viewed and not read. That reading them ruins the entire.
Well, like reading is the instruction book.
Well, no, reading isn't even the instruction book. The entirety of the play is based upon the rhythm and movement of the words themselves.
Like there are so many jokes that rely on hearing them, and my teacher's like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This is a joke. None of the class got because we're reading it off of a page.
No, I laughed out loud at The Tempest. Like,
Didn't cover
there
the
is
Tempest.
a huge setup for like an entire act is just a setup for a dick joke. Like,
I don't remember that one. I don't actually know if I've read the whole way through The Tempest.
I've never read it. I've only seen it performed.
Ban, ban, cacao, ban.
Off the cuff.
and did you laugh?
I laughed at the
Hassan.
performer, like with the performers, because one of them was.
What about the
acting-
moon calf? The beast with two backs.
Sex!
I really, really enjoyed, because this was also on that same stream, the person playing the drunk in The Tempest, and they had like a lot of dialogue, and they really leaned into it and did a very good rendition.
It's like,
And I was like, wow, okay, I get why this has stood the test of time. It would suck to read.
well, what can I say? Bacon wrote a lot of good plays.
I'm going to maneuver this back around to my current.
Sorry, yes.
One of my current bugaboos too about audiobooks.
Go on, or rather,
Yeah.
go off.
Reading audiobooks is reading. There's nothing special about printed words, at least for fiction.
I'm sorry, what, reading audiobooks?
Yes. You're reading a book.
You were consuming the media, right?
Are people trying to sell the concept of reading an audiobook?
Oh,
No. Of reading a book over
yes.
hearing it.
Reading an audiobook is reading. There is nothing magical about books.
But pages.
The words on the smell, the physicality. Now, guess what? It's an accessibility issue.
Ooh, accuse them of being ableist. That'll get them off your back.
I've read so many more books since I started consuming audiobooks than I
See,
would
that's how
have
you're
if I
going to get
hadn't.
me interested.
Okay, this is why I'm confused. You keep saying read a book when you mean listen to a book.
No, I consumed a book, and you read books.
I think that's his point.
Do people who use Braille, are they not reading? Are they just feeling books?
I mean, I could also argue, yes, I totally watched Macbeth when I read it from a book.
Yeah. Not so. But maybe.
Sorry, just the blind glasses deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That, hoo-wee.
I do get your point, though. It's just a bit mind-bending to go, oh, yes, I read a book by listening to it.
Well, because then people say, oh, you didn't read a book.
Yeah, I did.
Well, like, the effort of reading is somehow noble in some way.
The people he's talking about is me.
No.
Wow!
Corey, are you elitist?
I'm the one who's like, you didn't use your eyeballs to read this book. You didn't get the theater of the mind. Someone else did the voices for you.
Actually, I get upset when some people do voices.
Me, 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 me.
Depends on the performance, I assume.
It does. And that does impact things, I won't lie. But on the other hand, font choice is the same thing. Or, better yet, kerning.
Or you mean chemming. God, I love that joke.
Boy, it would be nice if certain companies, Amazon, would figure out how to auto lay out their books.
Nah.
Can have a ragged right, it's okay.
No, they need to...
Full justify everything?
Oh, I thought... no, I was going to say, like, burn more employees in the pyre of its... What? The dick balls? Sorry, I did a mishap. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
I probably should get into listening to audiobooks because I do listen to podcasts. And it's just a thing to do while I, for example, play video games. Because I don't need to listen to the sights and sounds of Civilization 6 now that I've played it more than 5 hours and have experienced them already.
Especially with nonfiction books.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Actually, and yeah, there are actually some podcasts that I think would be much better consumed as a simply as a text file.
Scheiße.
What happened?
Nothing.
Oh,
It's fine.
okay,
Everything's perfect.
Fine. No problems whatsoever.
You keep your eyes on that side of the bench, Horner.
Jesus. Okay, am I missing anything, or can these two pieces go together in whatever hell machine this is?
Come on and slam, and welcome to Japan.
Come on, slam. You go to Japan.
I mean, okay, even if it's different experiences, maybe we don't have to have a pissing contest over who's doing it right.
Hey, that's an even better idea. Do you like to consume media? Then consume media.
Consuming of the media consumption occurred.
And I think that two things about reading books that get me away from it as a practice is actually would be just sidelined with audiobooks. Number one, my neck would not be sore. Number two, I wouldn't fall asleep.
Ooh. Okay. I have a problem where I if I try to listen to my audiobooks in bed, I do end up falling asleep.
Well, you're in bed.
Why?
But no, then I lose my place, and then I'm very upset.
I'll just reread it.
Yeah. I
Well,
do.
the bed is for sleeping in.
I was told by somebody, I think it might have been I think it was on Sawbones. It's like you should only use your bed for sleeping.
Correct. Sleeping and sex.
Well, hang on. Does the solo experience count?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the idea being that don't use your bed for things other than what you normally use your bed for. But yeah, sleep is important.
Yeah, like looking at your phone in bed is actually just like not good because it's like okay, so like if you go on Imgur or Reddit, it's just like, lol, memes about me not being able to sleep, scrolling fucking social media all goddamn night. I don't understand why I can't sleep. I don't get it. It's a fucking mystery.
What could it be?
I could be anything. Let me post some memes about being aware of the problems that I have in my life and my complete unwillingness to do anything about them. Those will be hashtag relatable. It's the same as dealing with my problems. Sorry, I had a bit of a fugue moment there.
That's all right. I'm shaving parts.
I mean, like, I'm not above you with that. I am still a user of Twitter.
Oh, same. Although I've been, with a little bit of help, taking steps to reduce my intake. Like what I was saying earlier about Twitter being fake and dumb is a small part of that. Even if it's not true, viewing Twitter as being like an entertainment platform that got sufficient user base to get a little up itself in terms of its perceived importance makes it easier to stomach. You're like, oh, none of these discussions matter. And this is representational of like a tiny portion of the global community.
Oh, yeah. And if you can block off most of that community, it's even better.
It's tricky, but you can do it.
Yeah, just follow the cat blogs.
Yeah. I need more cockatoos in my feeds.
Whoa, hold on.
I need to feed more cockatoos.
More
feed
a twos.
What? Okay, I think this is a shoulder, and God, this just makes me want to build an Ingram now. Okay, time to build an arm. What time is it at here? Okay.
You're making good time.
Yeah, maybe we'll take ourselves a quick break in about 11 minutes here.
Why won't it go in?
Fuck
it. I'll come back to it.
Sprubits?
Sprubbits. Sprubbits. Oh, he's got the sprubbit. Gerald, have you got a sprubbit?
Too much sprubbit.
Oh, bollocks.
I have a question for you.
Excuse me.
Alex, do you have access to aluminum machining equipment?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, quite a lot.
I might have to talk to you at some point.
I mean, you know, I fixed that fixture, right?
Yes, yeah, that was fantastic.
I was very chuffed about that.
Yeah, and rightly so.
It took me years to find out what chuffed meant.
Did you? What did you think it meant?
Angry.
Oh, no, it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
I've got one on you there, actually, Matt. The word. So, as a child of the 80s, I grew up reading a lot of Garfield books.
Oh, great.
Okay.
As one does.
Huh.
And one of Garfield's favorite words is natch.
Okay.
As a response to, like, of course. And it took me until this year,
Oh, no.
my 39th year of life,
Oh, no.
to discover that natch is simply short for naturally.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they do it in the Who's line bit. Or Who's on first, rather.
Naturally.
Yeah.
So he
natch.
throws it to naturally.
Naturally.
Never heard the natch in there.
So he gets the money and every dollar of it.
Every dollar.
God, that's such a good bit.
It's like reading the word capiche and going, what?
Capiche.
Capice?
Capiche.
Yeah.
Capiche.
E1 part 10, not part 1.
The large. Oh, I'm clipping off pieces without looking at the numbers. I'm identifying them by shape.
Oh no!
Oh.
Hubris!
Is that the model name?
No, the huge bris is from G Gundam, where they actually bring in the different cultural Gundams.
Huge bris? That sounds like a giant circumcision.
Now, this is what I said, isn't it?
Okay.
Well, what does the G stand for in G Gundam? Does it stand for Gundam?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a little on the nose.
Yes.
No, I put this in backwards.
10, 12, and 14 are the parts I need.
But you're skipping part 11.
Yes, and it's confusing me.
It was acceptable in the 80s. It was acceptable at the time.
Giving weapons to the Iranians?
I
think it was proven very not that it was not acceptable.
Sorry, I'm just like, I listen to a lot of, I listen and watch a lot of OSW review.
And I read a lot of Bloom County as a kid.
Yeah, all right.
I couldn't identify Oliver North in a lineup if you showed him to me, but boy, can I make jokes about him. 13. No, sir. All 13. That Okinawan music. You're singing in Ondo.
Sure. It's the Konada's theme from Lucky Star.
We should actually hold a Bonodori dance here sometime.
Oh man.
A1. That's A2. That's A1.
I mean, we could probably stand to do more weeb shit around here.
Oh, probably.
Sometimes it's a harder sell than I think, and I'm always a little arrested by that. I don't think Paul understands weeb stuff as much as we do.
I mean, I never hear him walking around saying things in Japanese.
I get the feeling you're right, but that's also surprising to me given how I came to think that he was a gigantic anime nerd. back in the old what was that? Unskippable days.
Well, I don't know. You don't have to like something to parody it. I think it just helps.
No, but there were some very deep jokes there that I wouldn't have expected a non.
Right, they made a Miranda
fan.
joke, didn't they?
Yeah. No, Matilda.
Matilda, yes, sorry.
Wait, what?
So
Oh boy.
in Mobile Suit Gundam, the original
Okay, no,
series,
you can stop talking.
Oh, I thought from the
I'm good.
movie
She's like
Matilda.
their base mom.
Okay.
she shows up for one or a couple of episodes, but there's
Besuonna.
a huge amount of fan memeing about her.
Is there?
Yep.
When I posted, I don't know if you saw this, when I posted that anthro picture of the elephant's foot,
Yes.
somebody was like, now you've got me thinking about like atomic waste R34. And I linked them to the Know Your Meme page on 4chan. And they just sent me back this picture of them covering their mouth. Grown.
I was also unaware of 4chan until just very recently.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's, you're welcome.
It seems
Did she
very
get
much
all hot? Like, what's the deal?
and bothered.
Do
not
we
just
really
hot.
have to do this?
Does she just sit there
Sort of.
in her crevasse?
It's called a sarcophagus, Corey.
No, but she blew the roof off.
Oh my god.
Raise the roof. What? Alpha particles in the house.
Graphite everywhere.
Oh, no.
I'm so unhappy.
And yet you smile.
Just the smile of ultimate despair.
I really actually miss the old, the old tan culture.
Yeah, like, I'm kind of surprised that maybe that it's due for a resurgence.
Yeah, but it petered out, I think, is what happened. Because I still have in my boxes. I desperately want to clean up my house so I can unpack some of my figures. But I have tiny little SD figures of the various OS 10.
Oh, that's really cute.
So up to 95, 2000.
I mean, surely they have OS 1010.
They did. Well, they never settled on a single look for OS 1010. The way that they did for 2000.
There's like
ME,
did they ever do Mac ones?
They they never really settled on, but there were a number of proposed
Because like
designs.
Android, iOS.
Oh yeah, there's so many options now.
Oh, you know what? People are right that like Can Cole has filled that void, and vice versa.
What is that?
boat.
Well, that's
Just gun cupolas. Boat wives.
Ken Cole kind of took it in a different direction.
Yeah, straight
Then I
into
would-
people's pants.
Exactly.
Just like, you want to get horny about warships?
No,
Oh.
and that's my problem.
Oh. Completely unrelated to anything?
Yeah.
You like free beer?
Yes.
Okay.
It seems like a dangerous yes to say.
Okay. Follow-up question. Huh?
Nathan J. from the chat suggests opening the sarcophagus and drinking the juice.
So, technically they're doing that right now. The new safe confinement is in place and now fully operational. It's passed all its tests and checks, and I believe is now underway towards performing the final demolition and storage of the facility. What's kind of wild to me is there's a body under there somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. One of the engineers was buried under the wreckage, and so if they're going to take the structure right down to the ground, I don't know how much they're demolishing, but they will probably find him at some point.
And it's probably going to be in very good condition.
I don't know.
Drink the juice.
That's
Open the sarcophagus. That was one of my favorite parts of 2019.
what?
The Mummy.
Oh, right, the black casket
Yes.
with the mummy juice.
Yes.
No, the movie, The Mummy.
Oh no.
Also a good movie. At least the first one, anyway.
The first trailer was sublime.
The one without half the audio?
Yup.
Oh, sorry. No, I was talking about the Brendan Fraser mummy.
That's not the first Mummy movie, I don't believe.
No.
Okay, I don't know why I even bother.
Alex, bear witness to the beginning of a dark universe.
You didn't they? Wasn't that the film that they canned the entire thing?
Pretty
This
much.
time they're just like, eh? And it's like, this sucks.
It does.
This sucks out loud. But we made the mummy a sexy girl and gave her mercury bondage.
Yeah, you already made him the Rock. How do you go up from there?
You can't. Dark universe. More like dork universe.
Got him.
There was okay. I actually did watch the Tom Cruise Mummy. It was not as awful as I expected.
Okay.
Was it just kind of mediocre?
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It also like wasn't boring. It was just kind of like, I don't know. There was even some like cool effects, like when she's like part way resuscitated and is doing like weird crab walk stuff. It's very cool.
That sounds rad.
Yep.
Was it like, okay, this is all right, but I wasn't asking for it and wasn't really in a mood kind of thing?
Yeah, I don't know. Also, I'm like,
culturally.
I'm not too proud to say that I'm a sucker for pale chicks. Go on, judge me.
Everyone's got a type.
That's true.
Everyone can have many types.
HG. Phenotypes, genotypes. Wow, I'm so distracted right
R
now.
types.
Does the R stand for romance?
We have come up to 6:30.
What happens at 6:30?
We're going to take ourselves a short break, rehydrate, cycle some fluids, and I believe you should as well.
Okay.
So, we're going to take that short break, and then we'll be back with more Gunpla building on Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. I'm Ian Horner, your host, and with me is Alex,
What up?
and we are building Gunpla models. I want to thank Omni Chaos for giving those wonderful Gundam Zeta and Gundam Double Zeta. Whoops, there we go. Recaps in the chat. Also, was going through my list of, or not list, but my pile of
Is your mic on?
Gunpla stuff. It is now.
Oh, okay.
It was off. It's now been fixed. Going through a list of stuff that I keep down in the corner there for building Gunpla models, and I ran into these, which are tiny pieces of electrostatically cut metal to be made into glasses
What the
for
fuck?
tiny figures.
That's really cute.
I'd forgotten that I haven't yet clipped those out and made them into.
Are you gonna put them on your Gundam?
Not on the Gundam, no. Those were bought actually oh god, those were bought over 10 years ago. Specifically to go on a couple of figures that I own that I thought would look better with glasses.
Specifically, like Figma figures.
No, those were meant to go on girls from the Japanese Self-Defense Force.
GSDF figures? You fucking nerd.
Did I
So are these your train girls?
well,
No.
did I tell you, Alex, how what I said to myself when I first got to Japan?
What did you say?
Got to Japan, went to a toy store and looking through stuff and like, okay, there's a lot of stuff here that I would really like to own. I need to restrict myself somehow. Oh, hey, it's these girls of the girls of the All Nippon Airways. It's a set of just of tiny 3-inch tall figures that are all dressed in the various uniforms of All Nippon Airways at the time. It's really well, just the stewardess outfits. I thought, okay, I'll restrict myself to figures of people wearing clothing that actually exists. And then they made 2 more sets of the ANA figures for their ground support and other uniforms. And then they made girls of the Japanese Self-Defense Force. So it's all the Self-Defense Force uniforms. And they made Tetsudo Musume.
What's Tetsudo Musume?
Tetsudo Musume is Train Maiden.
Ah, and that was it for you.
Do you know how many different train lines there are in Japan.
Thousands.
Each one of them with their own uniform for each different job.
And now that you've set the rule, you have to follow it, so you need to get every single one of those.
They're so good.
Here's what the A&A ones look like.
Yeah, there's my girls.
Which one's your favorite?
That would be
The construction
one
one second from the right.
third. No, I was going to say third from the left or fourth from the left. I think. But second from the right is really good
What
too.
the frick?
That's the second set. Oh wow, Omni, you are getting pretty deep there with those recaps. That is great.
So funny.
Oh yes, in Australia.
Australia, mate.
Australia, Earth's designated colony landing zone.
Whoa, hang on. I don't know much about Gundam.
At least 2 made it to Australia, if I recall, if I'm remembering correctly. Though I might have been one of them was.
I thought one of them was like Jabra, right?
Well, one of them's Ontario. No, there was never a colony drop directly on Jabro, if I remember correctly.
Like I thought one hit Australia and one hit offshore.
It might have been they broke off.
What kind of dick drops a colony?
Dublin got colony dropped.
His name is Char.
I like how you're like, oh yeah, Dublin got colony dropped, and also Ontario, just the entire thing.
Well, Ontario, what used to be a place to... Ontario does some really bad things.
Hey, come on.
Or has some really bad things done to it, I mean.
Oh, okay.
So Dublin was Double Zeta, United States was 0083, and Australia was the 1 year war. Perfect, thank you.
Ontario gets such a bad rap.
Well, that's where the...
Toronto's such a crappy city. Blah, 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 blah.
That's where the SDF-1 first tested its pinpoint barrier system and had it explode.
Oh.
Oh.
Exciting.
Thank you, Macross.
Makuros.
Macross. Macross. Macross.
It's a quaint little enjoyment of mine, a little pleasure.
Hearing
Whenever Canada is just mentioned in media things, that it doesn't have to be, but it is. It's
Yeah.
just like, aw, they remember we're here.
Matt, may I tell you to watch the back half of a little show called Gundam Iron Blood Orphans?
Are all the orphans Canadian?
No, but the entire part of that back half of the first series is about a group of Gundam pilots trying to make their way to Edmonton, Alberta.
Why?
Because that is where the world, or one of the world governments, has its seat. In Edmonton, Alberta.
Awesome.
Somebody went to Edmonton, or at least took pictures, or did extensive YouTube or Google searching of places, because there is at least one scene where I can very clearly discern a building that is supposed to be a money mart, but has just had the logo taken off the
I mean,
outside.
that was one of the things that was kind of enjoyable as a former resident of Toronto about Scott Pilgrim, is all the locations in there. I was like, I fucking went there!
Oh, geez, yeah, no, I bet.
I mean, like, the part where they have the fight inside Honest Ed's is 10,000 times more funny if you've ever been to Honest Ed's.
actually-
And now you can't go because they demolished it.
Oh,
Yeah. And, well, they should have. That thing was a fire trap.
Uh-oh.
It's like, it was an iconic part of the neighborhood, but, fuck that place. It's like, okay, it's like your quaint neighborhood variety store turned into Tetsuo.
I love it.
Yeah, it was just like, it was sprawling and maze-like and smelled weird, and there was no way to figure out where you were or how to get out
That sounds
in an emergency.
really kind of rad, though, in a way.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, they play that up, and then it caves in. Yeah!
Yeah.
It's fine.
I
Nice.
Alex, I have some bad news for you.
Oh, no.
You may or may not have already heard, but
What?
it's a real shame that we weren't able to get back to Japan together
Oh.
because the
Oh, I did hear. Okay, wait. I think I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna tell me that the Kowloon arcade is being shut down.
My Warehouse, the name of the Kowloon arcade or Kowloon Walled City replica arcade.
I'm sad, but I'm also
downtown
very
Japan.
happy that I predicted that.
Yeah, you did good work there.
Yeah. I did really want to go check that out, but oh well.
I'm sure there will be other. Well, there's no end to wonderful weird stuff in that.
It's
country.
like, oh no, Japan's gonna run out of weird stuff.
But like now we don't have Kowloon and we don't have the replica.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing's just gone in its entirety.
Kowloon, not the. I'm sure the building will be that the arcade is and will be repurposed into something else.
Well, we've got enough photographic evidence that it's going to make its way into like every cyberpunk property,
Oh yeah.
and like for the rest of time.
Well, I don't know. It'll probably be a while before we start seeing Kowloon-ish stuff again.
Yeah, I guess there was a trend for a while, and then I don't know. Maybe they got into other stuff.
People seem to really like the fresh-faced white,
Yeah.
very white polished future right now.
I really love the aesthetic. It's so dirty and nasty and cramped, and there's too much stuff, and it's like there's risk of electrical fire, and there's people making these like little cottage industries and stuff.
Joxer, it's the arcade culture in Japan itself is not so bad. I think that one in particular might have had some issues given how specialized it was.
How do you mean? Just like
Yeah, like it was less of a workaday arcade and more of a destination
yeah,
arcade.
a darkade.
Welcome, witness the
Welcome
beginning of a darkade
to the darkade.
universe.
You can play anything at darkade. Ouch. It's just so weird how Kowloon happened.
Really
It's just like it was like if urban sprawl was a cancer, and just like
interesting.
I mean they've got like in the photo book, which I really want to get a copy of. I have a PDF, but that's not really the same. It's weird. How did this happen?
Lack of oversight,
Yeah, I guess so.
which is in a way great.
That's where the fun happens.
E210.
Are you talking about the arcade or the real Kowloon?
The real
Walled City?
Kowloon.
Yeah, we're talking about the
Walled
real
City.
one now.
Yeah. It's and the shrine. There's like the core that was like undeveloped, but with this big net over top to catch all the garbage. It's so weird. I love that shit. I can't even explain why I love that shit.
If I could take a guess,
Go for it.
It's that it's such a pure expression of humanity in its barest sense. Like, there's no one individual was able to make Kowloon Wall City,
Yeah.
and no one individual's decisions did it. It happened because humans all gathered into one space.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I cannot explain.
Neither can I.
Mr. Frodo. Oh, I'm just a gardener.
Oh.
Mind if I trim your thatch?
Panic Samarius is asking about a pepper update for me, and I'm invested in this fermenting now.
Wait, what?
It's so I'm fermenting some hot sauce at home.
Are you?
Yes, and it smells deliciously like a fermenting onion.
So, I did not know that you ferment hot sauce.
It's one of the ways you can do that. You can make hot sauce.
Like, that makes sense.
It's
Like, that's how kimchi is prepared as well, isn't it?
correct.
Yep.
It's through a fermentation process.
What does the fermentation add to... Like, I imagine you get some umami out of it.
So yeah, you definitely get some umami, but most of what you get from it is actually acid. The process of the pickling, or the process of the fermentation, is what you're actually doing is you're pickling, and this is what natural pickling is as well. Is the conversion of sugars into acid, which then inhibits further rot because the acid will kill any bad bacteria.
Natch.
And so there you go. You've now preserved food.
That's why so many extremely local and old food preservation tactics is just rot it a little bit in the right way so that it's edible, but not to bacteria.
Interesting. I mean, that's kind of like how, I think that's how sallow is made. It's just like, get a chunk of pork fat and some spices and salt.
What's the spelling of the word salo?
S-A-L-O, just like the movie, but without an apostrophe.
Okay, that's interesting.
They're not related.
No, that's interesting because I'm wondering about the etymology of that now, given that the
It's a Ukrainian delicacy. Well, maybe not delicacy, just that apparently they're nuts about it.
well, given that rendered beef fat is often called tallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rendered pork fat. Well, it's not even rendered, it's just preserved. Apparently, like 90+% of Ukrainian males know how to prepare sallow. I mean, I did make that joke about it.
A31.
Hee hee hee. I'm funny.
I'm gonna have to go back and resub to the 1 Year War Twitter account.
Hmm?
So, someone did up a those Twitter accounts that do World War II in real time.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, someone did that for the 1 Year War for Gundam.
Okay.
It's like for a fictional war, it's kind of interesting.
Okay.
To see that sort of stuff, especially play out in real time.
During a whole year, I assume?
Shoot.
Well, and a bit.
It's like the World War II one. It's just like, man, I hope they beat Germany. I was just like, oh, I know this one ends.
I don't know, man. They might get Germany, but they'll never get Japan.
Part of my continued weird atomic tour is going to involve the Hanford B reactor,
Ooh,
which I want to go
where's
to.
that one again?
It might be in Washington State.
Oh yeah.
It's not that far away.
Is that the one that Allison was talking about? She did a.
I don't know.
She did a tweet storm a while back about some of the underground.
It's above ground.
Well, but the waste and the storage of
Oh,
nuclear
okay.
materials.
Well, I
in
mean, like they
Washington.
expanded it a lot through the 40s, 50s, and so forth. But yeah, it was the original reactor that made the plutonium for the 2 bombs and other stuff. Like you do.
We had reactors in BC, didn't we?
Do you know what else we have? Well, not in BC, but in Canada. Uranium fever. We have very good uranium, apparently.
Uranium City.
Yep. Cigar Lake, apparently, we have real good uranium.
Oh, we just have a lot of available, mineable material.
Yeah.
It's all that Canadian shield, baby.
Just dig it up, put it in the tokamak.
No,
Yeah.
that's asbestos in the shield.
Just asbestos in the
prairies have
tokamak.
uranium.
Leave that alone. Leave the asbestos alone.
Did you know that the world's last asbestos mine was in Quebec?
Was it?
What? In Asbestos City? Tell me more!
What?
There's a town in Quebec called Asbestos.
Wow.
It's a mining town.
Is it?
Yeah.
What did they mine?
Asbestos.
Yeah, how well did they mine it?
As best as they could.
Oh my god.
I love you.
And there we are. We made it happen. That's what teamwork's all about.
Oh, mad. I mean, when you find out about a lot of that stuff, I mean, like how the Chernobyl NPP was still in operation until 2001. Well, because only one of the units blew up.
Right, and the rest are still.
Yeah, it was just like reactor 4 of 4 blew up.
Well,
and the other 3 were just like, well, we need to supply power to this region, so just like, when you get to work, run out of the train into the building.
Well, I mean, the best way to contain any problems with a nuclear reactor is to keep it running.
Well, I mean, the other thing is just like, what's the safest place from like a radiation leak? Inside the building.
The core.
Wait, hang on a sec.
Well, I mean, not all at once.
I think you're wrong about that one, but
I'm still disappointed actually in the one that was the University of Alberta getting shut down.
yeah. Oh, also like the last person to be guillotined in like the 70s.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Polish them up, baby.
What? I hope I have that factoid right. Like the 70s?
It was fairly.
Yeah, I seem to remember it being.
It was just like, whoa, time out. They guillotined someone in the 70s?
Well, it's very humane, you see.
It actually literally is. Don't ask me why I was looking this up, but like I found a page about failure rates of executions, and guillotine is 0.
Well, not just failure rates, just in terms of the actual process of killing a human being.
It's not that easy.
And specifically the methods they use for chemical
it's so
executions
bad.
are
It's
horrifying.
so bad.
Horrifying.
So bad. Why do we do that?
Well, we don't.
Oh no, wait, it wasn't guillotine, it was firing squad has a 0% failure rate.
Oh, well. I mean, that makes sense as well, but
Is guillotine not?
It probably does. There's not a lot, I don't feel like there's a lot that can go wrong with a guillotine.
oops, forgot the blade.
But it's also just like, if, you know, even if you do mess up your firing squad, like chamber the next round.
If you were the one with the round.
I think that one's horseshit. I would want to look that up, but I have heard that anecdote.
I wonder about that too.
I don't think it's true because even, okay, look, so the urban legend is that in a firing squad, most of the soldiers would be given blanks, and one of them would be given a live round, so that everybody had plausible deniability. I think that's crap. Do you know why? Recoil.
Good point. Good point. You would know.
You would know.
You would know immediately.
I think they also like grossly overestimate the amount of shit somebody would give having to do that. It's just like, Joey screwed up. Oh well, better him than me.
Didn't Thomas Scott survive his firing squad
I don't know.
thing?
I mean,
The orange guy?
What do you mean the orange guy?
William Love?
No,
I mean,
Thomas Scott.
Thomas Scott, the
I
guy,
thought
the
you said
orange
Willy
guy?
Wonka.
It's the guy that I think Riel killed.
Who?
Oh,
Louis Riel.
I think I know what you're talking. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Discord and Token suggests that blanks recoil about the same as regular rounds.
No, they don't.
And how can you be so sure about that, Alex?
I don't believe that's... Well, okay, because... Well, see, now I'm curious. Okay, are the rifles designed to fire blanks, or are they just rifles firing a blank? Reason being, it's like there's no projectile. They don't have the same amount of gunpowder in them, actually. Okay. We're getting deep into the weeds here. It's like... So, movie blanks don't actually contain smokeless powder. They have, I believe it's flash powder for the big, like, muzzle blast. And they contain way more powder than normal. Because smokeless powder would be no good at all for a blank round. Because, like, so for starter pistols and stuff, all you want is a report. I'm not positive what they put in there. It might be smokeless powder, maybe not. And the end's crimped. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you fired a military wood blank, you would just be shooting them anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're going to use our less lethal round. It's made out of hickory.
We are also... All right, so I got I have a robot torso that can Neil deGrasse Tyson.
What?
Nice. Looks like we got ourselves a badass here.
There we go.
I mean, I'm gonna have to investigate this because I'm curious.
That's
Same
dangerous.
here.
Well, and it's also just like, sure, the projectile is a small amount of the weight, but it's Newton's law.
Yeah, physics. But then again, you're right. It is a small. It is a bullet is very small.
Yeah.
And would I feel a? You know, the more I think about it, the more I'm coming around on it. That the recoil would be the same.
So, really?
Yeah, like think about because what you're doing is you're accelerating a projectile.
Sure.
So it means you're adding that to the mass that's being.
I think we need to defer our opinion to people who have actually done this. Because, like, the reason why is because, like, last week, I visited a range with a buddy, and I got to fire a 300 Win Mag, like, in PUBG, the AWM, and that thing fucks. And it's a teeny little bullet on top of a big cartridge. So it's not a lot of mass, but it's being thrown very hard, and it comes back at you very, very hard. It's not one I would make a habit of.
Playing around with.
No, it's not that pleasant to discharge. Well, citation needed from anybody who's fired both. There's training blank firing adapters for cadet rifles that block the front of the muzzle but direct the blast out sideways, so you can fire blank rounds. And if you're accidentally pointing it at someone, it's not going to be that much of a
less of a
big deal.
chance of death.
Yeah, because like blanks are fucking dangerous. It's like, oh, it's a blank round. Pow. Oh, I can't see or hear. Also, I have little splinters of brass in my chest.
That's how we lost the Crow Man.
Kinda. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
well, I went into more detail about that a while ago, but yeah, that basically.
Don't want to make you retread. So
Just go watch episode, whatchamacallit.
please go see episode whatchamacallit of that show.
Yes, can confirm Mosin Nagant also not screwing around. Not as nightmarish as that I was led to believe, because there was like, there's like a mock set of achievements for firing Mosin Nagant, which is like reseating your dislocated shoulder with the second round.
Ow,
Like, boom,
ow.
ow! Hang on, let me just fire left hand. Boom! Okay, that's better. But yeah, it's strong Soviet engineering. Actually, no, pre-Soviet.
Wow.
Like the original Mosin Nagant was like what, like 1900s?
Really?
It might be earlier than. It's really, really, really old. The most produced 1891. Yeah, it is the most produced military rifle in the world. It beats the AK easily.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of them.
God, I still recommend that as a book to anyone who's interested in weaponry.
Which?
The Gun. And it's the story specifically of the production of the AK-47. And specifically with a good multi-chapter primer on weapons up to that point.
Yeah.
So you know the Sten guns, the various Gatling guns,
Oh yeah.
some weird experiments in weird caseless ammunition back in that time, and then finally getting to there. Then they flip the script and give you the history of the AR-15.
Jeez.
And
Let's
it's-
see how they collide.
It's fascinating to see the progression from both sides.
You
and
know
how-
what's really interesting? If you look at the Mosin Nagant, the SVT-40, the SKS, and then the AK-47 and 74, you can see bits of their genetics filtering through to each of them, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Not surprised.
Because like the Nagant ladder sight is basically the same on the AK. It's like, it's fine.
Well, that's
We don't need to change this.
one of the things about technology is that erasing
The
time-
conscripts know how to use this one. It's just like, how do you set your sight? 1,000. I'm not gonna aim anyway.
They just pull me. They just pull me. They pay me to pull the trigger.
E14.
What's an E1 for?
Interfacing with the E2.
Sure.
Actually, I have a real question for you now.
Answer.
That. What's that for?
Oh, did you see this already?
No.
Oh yes, I'm so glad that you just asked about this.
The cube.
Cube. This is my new fidget toy.
What's it made of? Oh, that's a heavy boy.
Yeah,
Tungsten.
you got it in one.
Yeah.
That's very good. We played a guessing game with my dad. This is a 1/2-inch cube of tungsten. I believe it's elemental tungsten.
Nice.
And this is the densest material that is still practical to carry around in your pocket.
One of my favorite materials for that reason.
Because there's denser materials, but they are poisonous,
They won't
like
kill you.
lead. They are way too expensive, some of them.
Or they are radioactive.
Yeah, or radio. I mean, okay, so plutonium. Plutonium, in addition to being $5,000 per ounce, is also radioactive and toxic
Oh.
and pyrophoric.
Oh.
It's so dangerous, it's ridiculous. It's just like, choose your... It's like, the destructor has come. It's also a profoundly ugly metal. Which is, I mean, makes sense. So, yeah, I got this off the internet, and I love it. I think it's very cute.
It is rad. Every now and then I end up.
You fall apart?
Yeah. Well, because I end up looking.
And you need, you know?
Because I go on eBay and I start looking at tungsten billets and thinking, oh god,
Yeah.
I can't drop $200 on a billet of tungsten.
What would you do with it?
Keep it on my desk and hold it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't even know how you machine tungsten.
Well, Marco Arment, a podcaster I listen to a lot, he purchased a large billet of tungsten to keep on his desk.
Just to have?
And he wanted it specifically, he wanted to get one large enough to use as a weight for his AeroPress coffee maker.
That's really cool. Yeah. That's really dorky and cool, and I love that. What was I going to say? A friend of our family's has a tungsten crystal,
Whoa.
which is like...
Natural tungsten.
I don't know if it's natural, but it's like this... I'm trying to remember what the shape of it is, but it was very cool. Tungsten's very cool. Periodic letter W.
Yeah, because
Wolfram. It used to be called Wolfram, which is a very rad...
It's the wolf metal.
Inside you are 2 tungstens.
They are making out.
Hot.
Yeah, I got my wedding band made out of tungsten
Oh,
because I like the weight of it.
it's
Number
very
one.
cool.
And number 2, it is the most scratch resistant of
Yeah,
wearable
you'll never
jewelry.
scratch it.
Yeah.
I have heard that it's if it gets stuck on your finger for any reason, that's
you're
bad.
host.
You have to shatter it off. You cannot cut it off.
Really?
Yep.
Starts thinking about how one would like remove a tungsten wedding band.
Shatter.
Surely.
With a weight.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and anything underneath it.
Well, I've heard that there is a chance of you, like if you drop it on concrete or something, like hard
It might just
and
shatter.
unwieldy,
Oh, is it just like, is it
it can
brittle?
also shatter. Maybe. Like mine has no nicks or scratches or anything on it,
Probably
so-
never will.
I think before I mean, I would love to have a tungsten ring, but I also fear for that time that I need to get something off my finger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're very cool, but I'm happy to just have like a thing like this.
Honestly, what I'd like I'd like a sapphire watch crystal first.
It would be funny. Just have like you have the sort of periodic show and tell. People are like, what did you bring? It's like, iron. It's like, oh, I brought copper and like tin and stuff. It's like, what did you bring? Gallium. No. Just pouring gallium over everything.
What you got there? Gallium.
No.
A gallon of gallium.
Oh no. Gallium's weird.
This is why we measure things in terms of mass, not in terms of volume.
People in chat are saying you could shatter a tungsten ring off your hand with a vice.
Oh yeah, I suppose that's.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, I don't know if hospitals.
That would be the scariest thing, because you'd be turning it and turning it and turning it, and suddenly there'd be this like ear-splitting pop, shrapnel, and then it would crush your hand.
But would it?
I don't know.
What I'm thinking is you put something in there that is about as wide as your finger.
Well, like makes.
To stop the
I was gonna
vice?
say like it would make a difference on the kind of vice. It's like if it had like.
Like
If it had tension in it,
Like if it's
it might close closer than it is.
if it's a screw vise, you're probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't take chances.
I mean, well, if I need to get a ring off my finger,
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to be taking chances.
Use dental floss.
Yeah, I'll take the finger right off.
No. Okay. If you get a ring stuck on your finger, you can take dental floss and wrap it around the finger, compressing the tissue, and then thread one end into the ring, and then unwind it, and it will like it will work it off.
I think what I'm talking about is those situations where you like maybe have shattered this joint,
Ah,
and you have
it's
just
swollen?
Yeah, you just got a huge swollen.
well
finger.
then you have different problems.
Yeah.
But I would rather keep the finger.
Yeah.
These are my money makers.
No, just freeze your hand and then smack it against the desk really hard. What?
This is my money maker now.
You're
This. I mean, this whole package now. Damn it! Can't lose any part of my body anymore.
You're entirely made of money.
today's Call of the Void. Stab Ian Horner in the face.
Oh. Welcome to my mornings.
I value your friendship.
Thank you.
The real
Value
trick.
yours.
Aw.
The real,
Sorry. I'm so fucking stoked that we finally get to show off Road Quest.
Oh my
yeah.
god, that was.
Okay, keeping my goddamn mouth shut about anything that happened on that trip for a year and a half.
The hardest.
It was hell. But now I'm actually remembering that it's like, oh, I can finally talk about things that happened.
It's one of the hardest
with
things
still,
I've had to do.
Yeah, we'll still. There's still like plenty of spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You know, I
Alex
mean,
was
like-
legally dead for part of the show.
I mean, Beach really died. I mean,
you're
the
seeing is-
replica was very uncanny.
A spirit.
Yep. But
When we ran into Waluigi and we wished Beach back to life, that was how you know Nintendo is real.
the Ouija is a nerd.
That's why sometimes you call him Weege, right? Instead of Weege.
Sure.
And not because he's entirely made of weed.
Brendan made of weed, dearie.
Please do not smoke Beach.
Is that why Heather always looks tired?
Rude.
You don't. That's not actually. I was just making a joke at your husband's expense. Love you guys.
And countdown to Beach in 3, 2.
Oh fuck! Here he comes.
He's not like Beetlejuice.
Is he not?
I mean, we've said his name a number of times.
Beetlejuice.
You don't juice Beege.
Please, God in heaven, don't make a Beetlejuice sequel.
Don't need it. They already had the cartoon. And it was perfect.
I thought they already did make a Beetlejuice
No.
sequel.
There's a musical.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I've heard it slaps.
I heard it's a bop.
I heard it's a banger. like that joke we did.
I'm glad that the script that I wrote for that crap shot was usable.
I'm glad we got Serge to say, I'm on PCP.
That was real good.
He was very excited to play that role,
He
actually.
was also super jacked.
My favorite part about that was that he completely recreated the costume of Kazuma Kiryu from the Judgment music video from Yakuza 0 without knowing it.
Oh my god, he did.
Right?
I was just thinking, oh yeah, you're Canadian Majima. No, it goes deeper and more specific than that.
Specifically 80s Kiryu. This is probably the most complex part I'm doing right now.
I have to make the pelvis.
I've got 3 out and 1 out. Okay, so
But what about 2?
we'll get there.
So is it spoilers to say that I enjoyed Road Quest from start to finish?
Yes.
Shit. We didn't hate each other by the end? That's definitely spoilers. Shit.
Not even day 3. Actually, yeah, that is kind of spoilerific.
Is it?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, in the sense that we don't drive each other crazy.
You just drove each other.
Oh.
It's not over, Alex. We still have to shut up. But soon, and for the rest of our lives.
Anyway, it's I think it's a good thing that you will enjoy.
I'm super happy that we did it. I'm super happy that it's out. And I can't believe that people in my workplace are watching it and enjoying it.
Really?
New episode on Monday.
Do they see you in a different light now?
Not, I mean, as a Saab owner.
No, it's a GM, my dude. Oh, God.
Oh, I'm glad that bit's out there.
Ah, precious beach.
There's a lot of content that I had to cut down for length. Like each day, I swear, was like 10 hours of car footage that I was doing the first pass on.
Yeah, there are a few spoilers that I need to like really be careful about because we say some very prophetic stuff in episode 1.
Yes.
I won't tell you what's prophetic because some of it is prophetic, some of it is not.
Kind of amazing.
Did you prophesize the Dark Universe?
Sure.
The first hint is that Beej is the chosen one.
Oh.
Was there really ever any doubt?
Is that why he was the one who died?
For your sins. Dick. There's a couple of macro photos that I think I can finally release now that I've been like hoarding on my hard drive somewhere. I can probably put them all out because they're so tight in that they don't reveal any locations.
Yeah, I think at this point that's probably safe.
Jason Chinock has started posting
Oh, so good.
some of his photos because, man, boy's a good photographer.
Yeah, it was I think it was 5 days in when I actually calculated about how much we actually needed to how much we needed to talk in terms of getting content per day.
Yeah, like
For the first few days, we were just non-stop because we didn't know.
well, the other, okay, like I had the opposite thing on day 1 just because I think I was really, really tired. And so I'm a little bit lethargic and seem like I'm not there, but I hope I perked up in later episodes.
Pretty sure you did.
Fucking hope so.
But it was calculating, okay, this is going to be a 40-minute episode. There are 4 cars. That means that at maximum, we need to make this many minutes of content per day.
And you went over, and I had to cut it down.
So many cameras. So much drone photography.
Oh, yeah.
So much definitely legal drone photography.
Yeah, Graham had a license.
Yeah, he did.
Got one specifically for it.
It's interesting that the drone software warns you if you're near a no-fly zone. Like, it knows.
Well,
That's wild.
it's got a GPS built in because most of these drones have the ability to come back to where you launched it from when the battery's dead.
That's cool.
So they've got like auto bingo systems inside them.
I mean, I thought that if the battery's dead, it just drops like a rock.
Depends on the model, and you can tell them to do that too. But because like sometimes you might just want to get as much in-air software as possible. And of course, because it's software, there are also people out there who have hacked said software to
but of
remove
course.
the restrictions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they did it, but they got drone footage of the Epstein compound.
Oh,
That was weird. Let's go have a look. What's this? Oh, that's evidence. Well, it was.
I mean, you think that would be covered under the Clear Skies Treaty?
I don't know. Well,
Related to drones,
Yeah.
some of my favorite videos online is dogs just snapping drones out of the air or off of like tables and things when they're starting to lift off.
Well, this is something that I know that certain, I can't remember the countries off the top of my head now, but I know there's certain nations out there that have literally trained falcons
I was just thinking that.
as drone.
It's very cool.
Takedowns.
I love the sort of like low-tech answer to like a high-tech device. I think that's incredibly cyberpunk.
Shit, why haven't I pivoted careers? I'd get to hang out with birds all day and fuck up drones.
Yeah? It's like a new re-burgeoning career, falconer.
Sorry, off to move to Saudi Arabia to learn how to be a falconer for 3 years.
Just feeding it little scraps of bacon. It's like, oh,
Could come back and hit with 2 tickets. A third-class ticket and a first-class ticket on the plane. You know who gets the first class. It's the bird.
yeah.
Otherwise, it would die.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see what low-tech solution somebody comes up with to deal with drone swarms. Because I mean, or even just like combat drones, because they already have the little ones like dropping hand grenades and stuff. It's like, ooh.
Well, the scary one to me was always when someone put together the fact that it's not going to be long before facial recognition technology gets put on drones. And not necessarily facial recognition just for a specific person, but for, say, ethnic features.
Yeah. So get your fursuits done up soon,
Yep.
and you will be perfectly safe.
Make sure to like, share, and subscribe all of those Dazzle camouflage makeup tutorials.
Have you seen the facial recognition confounding makeup?
Yeah.
It's so cyberpunk.
It's like Dazzle camouflage.
Very cool.
I remember hearing that there was something in Canada trying to be put forth to ban facial recognition technology.
That, if there is, that's news to me, and you can't. You just can't.
I mean, yeah.
That sounds like defeatist talk.
Well, no, and one of the reasons why you can't ban it is because you can't ban technology. For one, it's impossible to do that.
It's not one of those things that's like, no, you shouldn't. It's just like, it's impossible.
Like it's impossible to stop people from aside from stopping every computer from executing a certain type of code.
It's like 3D printing.
And then on top of that, if you do ban it, then that means that the only people who will have access to it are militaries and governments, which are some of the people you desperately do not want to have access to that
Yes.
technology.
Yes.
It's like strong cryptography. The only thing that's keeping cryptography a safe thing is the fact that everyone can access it.
I mean, luckily, I feel like the genie's been let out of the bottle in some situations, which cuts both ways.
I mean, it's every quarter there's a new bill put in towards every government saying, please put back doors into all of your systems and all your cryptography stuff. Okay, thanks. It's for protecting the children.
Sure it is. Be like, no, we're not gonna do that.
I mean, it probably, like to a certain extent, it probably is. But that's not all of it, and also that's by itself not a good enough argument.
It's just like,
Yeah.
how about you make me? Bench.
Uh-oh.
notice how the Chinese president looks exactly like Winnie the Pooh?
Well, thank you very much for all of our Chinese viewers out there. No, yeah. Oh,
Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay.
You don't seem very sorry.
Only that this is probably not the kind of venue where we can have the fulsome discussion necessary
Oh, I know.
to
I just-
properly discuss the issues with China.
Just a wink and a nudge.
Yeah. It's even problems with capitalism.
I made a shit post about that today.
Ooh.
It was construction signs that said like, warning overhead obstruction, warning overhead power.
I look forward to getting there. And that's 15 on the other side as well. Wow, I can't believe.
15, love. Who invented the scoring system for tennis?
Satan?
Yeah. Oh, there's Shaden. Not today, Shaden.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite NHL players. There was a man whose name was Satan.
For real?
Satan.
Oh,
But
okay.
it was spelled S-A-T-A-N.
I thought it was like,
So for a good amount of time, there was a man who somehow didn't have the number 66.
wow,
Skating around with Satan on the back of his jersey.
that's whack. 6.
I'm not missing anything here. Vernier thrusters in the back. Good. Horse tack is attached. Good.
Wait, what? Horse tech?
Horse tack. Horse tack is attached. Hat is matty black.
I'm confused.
Boots is black to match.
Are you having a stroke?
Riding on my horse.
Bite down on this wallet.
Riding on my horse. Back down on this wallet.
Don't actually do that.
Don't actually do it. You're gonna ruin my wallet. Ain't nobody telling me nothing.
If somebody has a seizure, just make them comfortable.
This is the best This is the best remix so far of Old Town Road.
Don't try to jam stuff in their mouth. It's stupid. And wrong.
Don't try to jam stuff.
Make sure they don't hit their head.
Make sure they don't hit their head.
Get a nice cool drink ready when they wake up. They're gonna be really tired.
I want to talk about it. Where did the piece that I cut out go?
Know the signs of stroke. Know the signs of stroke. I don't know the signs of stroke. It's,
Let me tell you what it ain't. It's not someone saying, I think I had a stroke.
yeah, Ian, so say words coherently.
Fuck you.
Okay, good.
Sorry.
Put your hands above your head.
Both of them while closing
Arms,
your eyes.
air, don't care. Okay.
Do I have to take off my shoes as well?
No, your face is symmetrical.
I
It's fine.
believe, yeah, the acronym is FAST, so you should have started with the face.
Oh, well,
I thought it was time.
Time is the T in fast.
Oh yeah, there we are.
Time is the T in fast because it takes a bit to steep.
what? It's like the signs of stroke. Are they brewing tea?
Oh, it's already in there. Well, that's why I couldn't find it.
The trick with the arms thing is that you make them close their eyes.
They're having a stroke, or they might be English.
Know the signs of being English.
It's just like 1, stiff upper lip. 2, poor dental hygiene. Sorry.
Going for those fresh takes.
Just the
There.
freshest. It's fine. I'm allowed to make fun of white people.
Yeah.
Hey, we're part of the Commonwealth.
Yes, so it's perfectly okay.
Does that
making
mean
fun of
we're
ourselves.
punching sideways?
Yeah, a lateral punch.
So like a hook?
Yeah. Maybe just a friendly elbow.
We got Queen on our coins.
Throw yourself an elbow there. That's not British
What
at
the
all.
fuck? No, that's where they sent all their prisoners.
New England.
Oh, I thought you were doing
I
Australian.
thought I was too.
You're sentence you to go to Australia. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go for a ride in Dallas in my convertible.
Absolutely
Why
nothing.
do people have me on this show?
Because you bring those relevant, timely
dang.
jokes. Too soon? No, checked. That is exactly on time.
Awesome. Oh, fuck. You get a little peek into the pinball machine that is my head. 2 and 3. I do that thing where I go a little bit too far and then immediately experience embarrassment.
You really, yeah. I've been trying to go flush, and I've been kind of hecking up on these a bit. But
Are we talking about the same thing?
You are not talking about the same thing.
oh, you
Yeah, no,
were not talking about your trimming at all.
I mean, maybe.
These God hands are so good, though. Okay, and A2 and A1 17, which I believe is the thigh cap. Oh no, this is a shin guard. This is how Gundam's allowed to play soccer. Or football for the rest of the world.
Football. I will play football. Can you imagine Gundam getting a yellow card? Just this like black and white.
I'm just imagining. I'm just seeing a Jim sitting on the field and clutching its shin.
Just pretend to be shot down. It's like they came out of left field. It's hair, teeth, and eyeballs everywhere.
Trouble is the Zeong, I'm pretty sure, is only allowed to play in goal given it doesn't have any feet.
Wait, what?
I mean, the legs are just for show anyway.
What?
Yeah.
I don't follow.
Oh, one of the final Gundam or final mobile suits in the series was the Zeong,
Zeong?
which is technically uncompleted, but it just didn't have legs.
Oh, that's weird.
They said the legs are just for show. They're just there for the brass.
Really? Like that is in the whole story, is that the legs literally don't matter?
There is a if I am remembering correctly, there is a character who literally just says that to Char. That the legs are just for show, basically just for show, and because it's a space-based, well, at the time it's going into combat in space. Yeah, the legs are literally just for show.
It's like how all Navy vessels have to have a paint box and a ship's bell. And apparently that caused a lot of friction with
Really?
this. I heard this story. I wish I knew where it was, but it was like this big engineering headache when they were working on this like recent stealth vessel, and they were like showing the specs to the Navy, and the Navy was like, "Okay, but where's the ship's bell?" And they're like, "It doesn't need a bell. It's a stealth ship." They're like, "No, it has to have a ship's bell." I was like, "Okay."
But
And then like they looked at it
Does
again and they
it?
were just like, "Where's the paint locker?" It's like, you can't paint it. It's a radar reflective coating. Need a paint locker. So they made the minimum amount of space required for like a 1 quart paint can.
oh my god.
I get the impression that the Navy might be superstitious.
No, tradition, Alex. They call it tradition.
That's the name of the ship?
A tradition is what you call superstition when you think it does something.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you have a government grant.
Ah, that'd do it. La 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 la.
Good Smith song.
What?
La la la. Paint box on a stealth ship. La la la.
D1.
Think you're thinking of this charming belle?
This isn't D.
I have almost completed the leg.
Get you.
Bye!
Must be nice.
Ian is almost done leg 1 of this trip.
Okay, so next time rally car.
For the
I already think I got
build or for the road quest.
I mean, I think I already got that joke. It's like, Ian, you have to listen to my calls. Please, I beg you.
Yeah, it was literally episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Triple caution, stay center. Triple caution, stay center.
No.
Poor man. He's just like, I don't want to die.
I do appreciate
So
that we got one shot of you, Ian,
Mm-hmm.
in the Saab, aggressively turning back into the lane as
No.
you're passing the other people.
Making a lane change is what I did.
Very aggressively,
Making
though.
a lane change.
I'll be generous and say efficiently.
Yeah. Look, I signaled. I shoulder checked. I signaled. I shoulder checked again. I performed my maneuver, and then canceled the signal. The evidence is there.
We have it on film.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to feel acceleration.
He sure did. Straight into that ravine.
Which is why I am also a ghost made of marijuana now.
You have a vape ghost?
I don't know why all the ghosts are made of weed, but
This week on Weed Ghosts. Do you smell something? Yeah, I definitely think there's a dank kush in this room.
Smells like birthday cake.
If there's someone in here, light a blunt. Ooh. Did you hear that? You just hear like. I think we just wrote a crap shot.
I think we did. I think I just put one of my legs in backwards.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, I could make this into a bird-legged Gundam. That would be kind of rad.
Scraw!
Yep. Now comes the least pleasant part of a snap-together Gundam build.
Oh, unassembling?
Yep.
Now, why did you put it in backwards? Just wondering.
Well, you see, when a man doesn't pay attention to what the fuck he's doing,
When a man thinks about vape ghosts too much.
I'm really loving the term vape. Gatai! Gatai!
I'm so glad you got there too. Sorry, the subtitles in that episode are really weird because it's like, let's do that. What do you mean that?
Oh no, they're totally going for that.
Oh, they are. They're
Yeah.
just like, let's do the thing. What thing? That thing.
You don't mean.
Gatai.
And then he did.
Did they yell Gatai before the money shot?
I don't know if they do or not. It's been a while since I've watched Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, I wonder how it's aged.
Well, Yoko's still in it.
Yeah, from my from my memory,
From your memory.
okay. And also Yoko.
Yeah.
I don't remember her aside from her being
Titty monster?
yeah, very much on display. I don't remember any of her actions being problematic.
Titty monster. Titty monster. Titty monster. I never saw what's that called? The other one.
Kill la Kill?
Yeah. Clunk.
Kill la Kill gets a bad rap.
Right. Okay. So this was a point of contention between you and Beach, and I'm not gonna get in between it.
No, it's fine. He's wrong.
Yeah.
No, Beach and I have different tastes in a lot of anime, and that's fine. Because everyone's allowed to like their own things.
I really feel the sentiment of your words right now.
We have fun here. Oh boy.
Is that the right direction
Doesn't Studio Trigger have a new thing out now?
now? They have a movie.
Yeah,
from
okay. Am I going crazy, or does the main character look exactly like
Kamina?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. Yes, he most certainly does.
Is that just
I think it's just the fact that Sushio was doing the character design.
okay?
Are you talking about Promare?
Promare.
I don't-
Or Ride That Wave or whatever the other one is.
I don't know what it's actually called.
Oh, wait, no,
Promare.
that's a Yuasa. Never mind, that's not Trigger.
Yep.
Ignore me.
I
Who said
believe
that?
it is Promare, although every time I read it, it's Promare. to
Promare,
me.
yep, that's what I see.
I have not watched it, but I've seen images.
It is not available in Canada at the moment, nor is it available in any streaming capacity.
Head
in
on
North
down
America.
to your local torrent site.
Not there either. There are no trucks available that currently have Promare.
What?
Trucks on the internet.
How is that even possible?
I know, right? And yet, here we are.
Did somebody kill?
They haven't released a Blu-ray in Japan yet.
Oh, okay, that would be why. Jeez, you got me all worried.
I think Kill la Kill, for you, someone like, well, that's a good point. Kill la Kill is a hard one on all respects.
Yeah,
But it is
I
definitely more than surface layer, and I think they might have hecked up in that respect.
You know what? I think the worry that I have is that it would be like Sucker Punch, where it's just like, we're gonna subvert these sexist tropes through the means of sexist tropes.
No,
Fooled you. It's like,
because they actually do a much better job of it than that. It's not taking down sexist tropes. What it is it's actually talking about, from my interpretation, it's about the relationship that you have with your self-identity and how that reflects in the clothing you wear and your place within society.
oh, weird.
Again, because Japan is a place that where uniforms are very much the norm, not just within high school life, but within the rest of your life as well. Fun fact: in the Gundam or in the Bandai Gunpla factory, the uniform you wear is made to look like a Earth Federation uniform from the Gundam series.
That's whack.
Yeah, but so it's that idea of, okay, well, what if you could talk to your uniform, and what does that mean? What does that mean for you?
Uniform, suck my blood and get really skimpy.
Yeah. Well, and make me incredibly powerful. As opposed to just make me pretty and
Sexy commando.
yeah.
Well, didn't they also have a little bit of gender parity where there are like extremely skimpy male characters as well as
They're
female?
naked. There
Yeah.
are naked characters.
They are specifically part of a terrorist group known as Naked Beach or Nude Beach. That's right.
It'd be funny if it was Naked Beach, like almost, not quite.
You almost got there.
Am I crazy, or is there a little bit more to gender parity than just everybody being naked?
Yeah, there's a lot more to it. It's,
Yeah.
it's a nuanced thing.
I was gonna say it's the difference between objectification and idealization, which I try to simplify by saying it's the difference between I want to be him and I want to own one of her.
That's actually not a bad. It's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah, that's my understanding of it.
Like I've seen comparison ideas of idealization of male characters versus objectification of male characters, and it's a stark interest or contrast, where one is a bit more leaning towards how we classically depict women more, and the other one is just like, oh, that's a superhero.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out it doesn't always just work perfectly if you flip the tropes on their head.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, now this is the same trope upside down.
Kill la Kill does suffer from some gag characters that are kind of like Lechi in the Go Nagai way.
Oh no!
Where they like, you know, spy on bathing scenes and it's played off for laughs.
Oh
And then there's
Jesus!
some other like parent-daughter, like mother-daughter relationship stuff with incest.
Yeah, and there's definitely some abuse triggers there that some should be aware of if you're going to watch it. But I if you're looking for a recommendation from
Holy
me,
fuck, Go Nagai.
I highly recommend Kill la Kill as a series. And weirdly, I actually highly recommend Go Nagai's work as well.
Now, I've actually not. I think Go Nagai is one of those creators that I've only experienced his work through derivatives. Like I've never watched Cutie Honey. I've never watched any version of Devilman except for animated GIFs. So I don't actually know a lot about them. They're very 70s, I want to say.
I was unaware that the guy who did Devilman also did Cutie Honey.
Yep.
Cutie Honey.
He Devilman, Cutie Honey, and Mazinger Z are probably his top 3.
I don't know why I didn't know that, and in retrospect, I feel like I ought to have known that.
I thought it was Mazinger Z.
Sorry.
Depends which song you're listening to. Anyway,
I don't know the lyrics as well as you and Beach. Something. Rocket Punch! Or Rocket Opanchi.
Tobase,
Tobase.
Rocket Opanchi, Imada, Dasinda, Buddhasto Fire. Yeah.
Might
Majinga.
recommend the Cutie Honey works done by Hideaki Anno, though.
Hano did Cutie Honey?
He did a live-action OAV series.
What in the fuck?
It's real good.
That's weird. How is Ano these days?
He's doing fine.
Is he alright?
Yeah,
Did he work all his shit out during Evangelion?
He's still working Evangelion out, so...
Oh, okay.
He's got... Well, oh, no, actually, I think he's doing... He's probably over the moon right now, because
yeah.
he's finishing his last Evangelion movie.
Hey!
Hopefully ever.
I was gonna say, it's just like, okay.
And he's already got his next project lined up for afterwards.
God, it'd be so funny if he ended up like,
No, Alex, guess what franchise he gets to work on?
I feel like I've heard this already.
So you know he's done...
Give me a hint.
You know he did Godzilla.
Yeah, Shin Godzilla, which I heard was quite good.
It was... in Japan, it was titled Godzilla. But it's in that wheelhouse.
Oh, Gamera?
Nope.
Ultraman?
Yep.
Oh, fuck!
The thing he wanted the most.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
This is going to be a...
Oh my god. Did we just make a fucking 60s joke?
Kind of.
Up top.
I mean, it is one of the longest running series.
We're making fucking Special B references. Ah, what a good time.
I enjoy.
My first exposure to Ultraman was when I was a kid. We had some VHS cassette that my dad had gotten from Japan, because like he actually ended up doing some work for Ultraman. They did like a reboot in the 90s.
Okay.
And like it was a live action reboot, and I think they had like a graphic novel adaptation that was like concurrent with it.
Okay.
And so I watched this video, and it was actually just like a highlight reel of a bunch of different iterations of it. Yeah, Ultra. It actually just kind of went like sequentially through all the ones that I think existed to that point.
Wow.
It was fucking awesome, because it was just like this big dude in a rubber suit would beat the shit out of another dude in a big rubber suit, and then like he'd shoot optical lightning at it, and it would fucking explode.
Well, from what I understand too, there's like the Ultraman franchise has really interesting relationships with the monsters,
Yeah.
in that they're not necessarily evil.
Oh yeah.
They're just
Misunderstood.
aliens who ended up in the wrong place at
I'm
the wrong
lost. I want to go home.
time. Too bad.
I'll send you. Man, they blow up good. They're just like, well, okay, so for this shot, we filled it with tannerite. Okay, I'm going to drop some nerd cred on you. In '93, my family went to Japan, and we toured Subaraya.
Okay.
And we got to see some of the costumes there. It was very cool. I only have, like, scant memories, but we definitely went there.
So you're certain you worked on Ultraman and not, say, Gridman?
No, Ultraman.
Okay, good.
100%. Look, like, if somebody wants to look up Ken Stacy Ultraman and blow Ian's mind.
No, I believe it. The man has worked on stranger things than I have.
No, he's not.
He's
He hasn't
worked
worked
on
on that.
Stranger Things.
Not yet.
Ay-ya!
There's still one cover of the Robotech comics that I'm trying to hunt down. Mm-hmm. It's really good, and it's by your father.
Oh, yeah! Jeez, he's done a lot of shit. Work.
I mean, he's probably done some amount of shit too. Just
Oh,
smartly
everybody
doesn't
does.
show people.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. Yep.
Cool, huh?
Well, yeah, of course I've seen his stuff because there was he had an art show with a flyer, and there was an Ultraman on there.
Ultraman. Wait a minute.
Flying the Ultra. He can really Ultraman.
Oh shit, did I put this in wrong?
I hope not.
Fuck a doodle-doo.
Well, time to get up.
Wait a second. Are you talking about that thing that Erica Moen reviewed?
What?
What?
Fuck it. No, okay. I'm just making up words to go along with fuck-a-doodle-doo. But hey, what are you talking about?
I put this on upside down.
Uh-oh. I've been there. Piss. Been there.
I could have sworn I followed the instructions.
Well, I mean,
Are we out of time?
I think we are actually
Okay, well,
about out of time here, which is good because I think we're about half. Well, you've made some real good progress there. But you'll come back and do it again, right?
sure, absolutely. I don't need an excuse to come here.
Good. So we want to thank everyone then who's come by and been here to
Come
watch. Who's come by to. We'd like to thank you for watching. Thank you for Soldier Fry here on the Mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. I'd like to thank those of you who are in the chatting away with, oh God, so much good content today on the text form. And of course, those of you who just sit back and relax and don't say a word, we appreciate having you here as well.
Lurkers, we don't see you, but we know you're there.
We'd also like to thank those of you who are watching on YouTube.
Excuse me?
YouTube, like the dipping sauce. That's YouTube.
Good save.
On YouTube, people who are watching there, we appreciate you. If you're not watching us on
Tube.
if you're watching us on Twitch, we got a channel for all our streams. It's over at youtube.com/loadingreadylive. And if you'd like to check out all the great shows pre-recorded in nature, those are over at youtube.com/loadingreadyrun. And of course, if you want to check out what's coming up next and find out what all of our shows are, those can be found over at twitch. God to handle. You can find all of our shows over at loadingreadyrun.com/live for all the great shows. And we would definitely like to spend some time thanking specifically those of you who've chosen to show your support by subscribing here at Twitch.
We're accepting soy sauce support?
I'll take your soy sauce.
Show you support?
Sure, yeah. Show me. Show you. Kiko Man. Show Kiko Man your support.
Kiko Man, Kriv Kobold for 20 months. Welcome back.
Oh, and thank you to Tonola for 46 months of resub goodness.
This is Mythos Magic for 36 months.
Thank Ophia for 6 months of support.
Bits 19 for 39 months. Welcome back.
Thank you, Cornax CJ for 16 months of support.
Darth Omega for 29 months. Welcome back.
Thank you to Many Knives. What do you got there?
What have you got there? Too many knives. No.
8 months of subscription.
Boba Tai T. Oh, I love Tai T. For 31 months. Welcome back.
Thank you, Zanzibar, for nice subscriptions.
Corbynisms for 9 months. Welcome back.
Cheers to Maranai for 14 months of resub goodness.
Tiny Space Marine for 59 months. Welcome back. Super tiny.
The sound of white noise, 19 months. Thank you.
Seo Sam 117 for 10 months. Welcome back.
Cheers to Elaro, 56 for 27 months.
JMX 0 for 36 months. Welcome back.
Thank you, 62 MG Cobra. 11 months.
Butts for 22 months.
Vid Strickland has been here for 30 months of propane goodness.
Propane. Shirts for 64 months. Welcome back.
It's Adelius. Adelius. 3 for 16 months. Thank you.
Darkness King Core for 5 months. Welcome back.
Nuts of Odin for 9 months. Thank you.
Can you get Odin that's like nuts?
Ooh,
Hi, Yurasha.
probably.
Cosmo for 2 months.
Thank you, Velvet Falcon, for those 37 months.
Gundam gifted by the Mary Cat.
Bargor Tariff for 34 months. Thank you.
Jesus. Alliterative alternative for 2 months.
And thank you to Type 1 and Xantos69 for those 150 bits. Bits. Oh, and there is one more sub. I have to thank Snack Pack for that resub as well for 17 months of goodness.
Okay,
right.
thanks.
Yeah, thank
Bye.
you. What he said.
Sorry, no. Oh.
Ever forward, never burning.